So welcome, this is White Man's Burden. I'm Vandad, Kardar.
This is Amish, Patel.
So together we are two, obviously non-white, I'm Aryan, I'm Persian, so technically, whatever, I'm OG white, but technically, for the purpose of the show, we are two non-white comedians from Toronto, Ontario, and we are going to be discussing everything and anything to do with colonialism. And that includes a lot of racism, my friends. That also includes a lot of white Christian supremacy.
Oh my God, you are going right into it. You're going hard right into it.
That includes a lot of
you are coming in swinging off the gate, baby. Oh my goodness.
A lot of socializing.
You are such a radical.
And what's that word? Not socializing. What's that other word? Conditioning people in society.
You're coming so hard in the gate, man. You're saying you're coming right in with the thesis. Like, listen, this is what this is about. You guys fuck shit up.
It impacts a lot of things. It impacted people's lives for like hundreds of millions of people around the world.
It's fascinating. It is fascinating.
Hundreds of people around the world affected, but then also, even when colonialism ended, those effects still exist. The borders drawn by colonialism still in fact. The old rivalries started by colonialism still haven't been. These scores have not been settled.
They're like generations. They're
being settled. These old war beefs just keep coming every.
Well, it's like the collective
years.
trauma you were telling me about. The collective trauma. It's they're saying it's passed on DNA. But it's also, I think, passed on because people tell each other stories. But basically, collective trauma is where a culture is traumatized for like 4 generations. Like they feel the effects of a trauma for 4 generations later.
Is encoded in their DNA.
It's like encoded in their DNA. But it's part of their culture too.
And this is something that science I read up on, and like science has been kind of showing. But the thing no one talks about is that collective trauma might be a thing, but then. That also could hypothetically mean, and probably does mean, you viewers tell us, that, I don't know what the word for it is, but a collective victories and collective joys could also probably be encoded in the same way in DNA. Therefore, if you are a group...
We sound like a conspiracy theory podcast right now.
Listen, if you are a group...
The way it's recording and everything, it sounds like that.
If you're a group that for a long, long time has been on top and has been fucking crushing skulls of your opponents and taking their women and having all the money and luxury to yourselves, well, even if you sitting at home are not that privileged and not that whatever, you still in your DNA have a sense of entitlement, belonging.
God. You're a lefty.
A sense
you're such a lefty.
That things should go your way at all times.
You are such a lefty. You're so far left.
And when things do go,
are you communist?
When things do go well for you,
this is trouble, man.
When things do go well for you, there are times where you don't even realize that these doors are being opened for you.
Oh my God!
You just take it as second nature. You just take it as second nature. And
we gotta tell them the story. I'm not
blaming you people for
that.
You
people?
Yeah. Anyone who this category falls under, just as I wouldn't, just in the same way as those people who have been traumatized for generations, I'm not going to go and tell them, hey, get over it. It's over. These things take time to decondition.
But we're just talking about it. Yeah, we're just talking about it.
So the person who feels that collective trauma for generations and the other person who feels that sense of righteousness and everything should go my way, I don't blame him either. It's going to take generations for him not to feel that way.
But ultimately, is there a solution? Is there actions now? What are we supposed to do?
Of course, the solution is reaching across. You see how in America everything's getting polarized now? The whole world's getting polarized. Society's getting polarized. No. To the left and to the right, I'm saying you're both fucking idiots. You're both doing it wrong.
Oh my God.
You need to find the people who don't agree with you, and you need to make sure that you're always having peaceful discussions with them. And that you're listening to them because they're going to have some good points, and hopefully with respect, they're going to listen to you as well. And you need to find a middle ground. We as a society are a very beautiful Venn diagram. Wow. We swerve this way, we swerve that way. When we try to stay on one side or the other, everything goes to shit. And that's what's happening right now. It's happened many times in history.
Oh my God.
We're back at it. And yes, colonialism is a major factor in it.
But it's true. It is true. It's true.
I
remember the time you told me that you think every culture should get their own holidays?
Yeah,
And I was like,
every culture has their own holidays.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just saying the stat holidays shouldn't just be the Christian holidays.
Yes.
We're in a very multicultural society.
I know.
Everyone loves free money and good times.
Sure.
If you make every holiday,
every
culture that is, let's say like you have to have if you have 100,000
one for each
if you have
religion?
100,000 Canadians who celebrate something or more, or what do you think the threshold would be? Okay, 36.
36,000 celebrate, then their culture gets
represented. There's 36 million people in Canada.
Yeah.
So if 1 million people
celebrate something, then they get one day. No.
Yeah, no, you get, or whatever. Honestly, no, I don't even want to step back. I want to go full out. Wow. I think every culture that is represented on the census in Canada, if you have a holiday, it should be a stat holiday for all Canadians. We should
all Canadians.
Yeah.
You're a communist.
No. I'm not suggesting you start saying, oh, you Jew, you get the 8, and oh, you Ganesh, you have 10. Or, like, no, everyone gets all. We all.
You're a radical.
Listen, it's not that radical. Listen, everyone's getting the Christian one right now. Everyone should get all of them.
So we're going to be communists.
Okay. So we're not going to be communists, but
the first time. But let me finish the story,
You're
man.
The one being
You're
loud.
telling me.
We're being too loud in this studio right now. There's
I know.
There's a rock band in the next room.
I know. We gotta keep it down. But on the street, the first time you told me this, remember I started ratting you out to the communists.
Yeah. What Amish did is he went. Huh? We got a commie over here, and then he turned to like the light post, like the lamp on the street, as if it was bugged with a KGB microphone.
Yes.
He was like,
and I ratted him out.
I ratted
him out.
He pointed at me like
hey,
as
we
if
got him right here.
All the cameras can zoom. The drones.
I looked up at the satellite cameras and I said, "We got a radical lefty down here,
like, we
right
got
here.
A radical over
we got
here.
a radical,
dude. Just hear me out, man. If all of them are equally celebrated by everyone, it's not that much more money. Whatever, we're gonna pay it back in taxes anyways.
Oh my god!
But if everyone does it, we're gonna like all of a sudden you're some fucking redneck or whatever. You're gonna know about the fucking Tet Lunar New Year.
Yeah.
Because it pays you out for fucking 4 days every year. You're going to know it. You're going to celebrate it. You're going to love Vietnamese people.
Yeah.
You're going to love Hindus. You're going to learn. And in schools and whatever, they teach you more. Like, you know how, like, in grade.
You're a conservative nightmare.
I think, like, in grade 12 or something, like, even in Catholic school where you have to learn religion every year.
Yeah.
In grade 12, they let them take world religions. They give them 1 year where it's like, now you can study about Buddhism or whatever. Don't believe it.
At Catholic school.
Yeah, at Catholic school.
They tell you that still? Don't believe it? Like Catholic?
No, I'm kidding. Come on, I'm kidding. I'm putting on
yeah,
I mean, probably.
When I was a kid, they did prayers.
I didn't go to Catholic school,
when I was a kid, they did prayers.
You went to Catholic school?
No, I don't think I went to Catholic school.
They never did in Canadian public school.
Canadian?
Not my lifetime.
I mean, think they
you're
did.
You're a little bit older, but
maybe,
you're not that much older.
I gotta check up on that. I gotta check up on that.
Schools ended like the 90s. Like
I feel like when I was a kid, man, I was like 8 or 10 or something.
Maybe you lived in a religious area.
I don't know, but they just did a quick one and they stopped.
Everyone's stat holidays.
Yeah.
Dude, if you go to Europe, like you remember that Michael Moore documentary, Where to Invade Next? He's talking to the 2 Italians. They get like fucking like 10 weeks paid off.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
They all do it. What do you think?
Where do we invade next? His healthcare one. He went everywhere.
What, is society crumbling over there? No, they're fucking loving it. Everyone's going on vacation over there.
These Americans are out of control. These right-wing Americans, they're so scared of communism.
And the whole stat holiday thing, just to keep it on that is a good test run. That's the real Mincome pilot.
Whoa! You just tied it to income pilot.
Kathleen wins like all.
You're read up on all this. You know all this stuff.
No, I mean it's just my speculation. But Kathleen wins like, we need a 3-year pilot. Yeah, she positioned it in a way so that the next election she tries to win by saying, we got the Mincome. Yeah. That's the cheesiest, stupidest, and really coldest. You want your money? You better vote for me. And it did backfired on her. Now we have fucking guaranteed income, Mincome, whatever, like minimum incomes, whatever.
Mincome.
Like, it backfired on her. She's no longer a premier, and now the whole thing is scrapped. Yeah. If fucking Trudeau has any balls in that fucking idiot sack of his, he should just fucking make it federally happen right now and just fuck the pilot. Just do it. We already did the pilot in '74 in Manitoba. They eliminated poverty in town. It's not that much. If you make over a certain threshold, you literally pay it all back in taxes. Okay? And if you're on the bottom, it might fucking keep you alive. We spend way more money than what this would cost. We spend on emergency services, on emergency hospital beds, on fucking police, court, justice system for petty, stupid, low-end crime. I'm not talking the big crime that we need cops for. I'm talking about a guy was fucking addicted and poor and fucking desperate, so he fucking robbed a TV for some fucking, you know what I mean? Those people won't have to do that. Even if you're a dumbass crackhead and you ruined your life, at least you don't die in a hospital bed and go to jail for fucking 5 months, because that costs hundreds of thousands of dollars, and in the country, billions of dollars per year. Instead, you give this guy fucking 14 grand a month. And if he wants to be an idiot, at least he's an idiot. If you have very low ambition, you just work McDonald's.
Yo, isn't it crazy how so many people are like, that'll lead to communism and then we'll all kill each other?
Won't.
But have you not seen this propaganda, like McCartneyism? Have you seen Good Night and Good Luck?
No. Good Night and Good Luck I've seen. That's amazing. McCarthyism.
McCarthyism, not McCartneyism.
Yeah.
The
I was like, oh, the Beatles?
No.
Dude,
yeah,
Good Night and Good Luck I've seen like 4 times. I saw it twice.
I've seen it 3 times, man.
It's so good.
It's one of my favorite movies.
It's so
incredible.
Good. And dude, they do it. They blacklist everyone. They fuck around. That was a light show. I know it's hot to say. It's bad to say.
Jordan Peterson's trying to start that now.
I know.
Or like a lot of
Woody Allen's bad right now or whatever, but The Front, one of Woody Allen's earlier movies, is called The Front. It's a lot like Good Night and Good Luck. It is so fucking good. The cast is amazing, and at the end, it's not a spoiler for the story, but at the end of the movie, when the credits go up, it tells you that every single actor in this, except for Woody Allen, was actually blacklisted during McCarthy era.
Oh my god, every actor.
Including...
he went after a lot of actors. He went after a lot of Hollywood people.
Yeah, Hollywood got destroyed. Including one of my favorites.
They've always been at war with Hollywood. They still hate them.
Yeah. One of my favorite actors of all time, both theater and film, his stage name, Zero Moistel. He was the original Max Bialystok. He was the Something Funny Happened on the Way to the Forum.
Okay.
And he's like the sort of second star in The Front.
Right, the Woody Allen movie.
Yeah, and he's so good.
Who is this guy? How come I don't know him? Because I know Woody Allen movies, I know he always has a big star.
You've seen fucking the producers, like Max Bialystok.
Oh, that's him. Okay, cool.
The original one is him, yeah, the big fat... Oh, he also, in Harvey Firestein's original Fiddler on the Roof,
wow,
he played Reb Tevye.
Oh my god.
You know who I'm talking about, right? Like, if I was a rich man...
You're so Jewish. Like, I feel like Jewish people are going to love this. They're gonna
I'm only a quarter Jewish, and I didn't really even know till like 2 years ago, and really confirmed until I did that Vice Ancestry.ca thing, and they gave me a DNA test for it.
Yeah.
Right? I'll tell you a funny story about that later, but I didn't really know that, but I still grew up around Jews in Toronto my whole life, so I've always kind of like felt like akin to it. And it's a very beautiful religion. If you actually know it, it's beautiful.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
All religions are beautiful at the core.
Yeah,
you got idiots who fucking try to do land grabs, try to do like straight up terrorism shit, try to do whatever. Okay, they're idiots, but like it's a beautiful language. Also, if you really want to get nerdy, and I am nerd, I'm Iranian, right?
Yeah.
Like, full disclosure, only quarter Jewish, I'm Iranian. Technically, if you really want to, like, we need to categorize this Sandman, technically I'm, like, born into Islam, like Shia Islam, Iranian flavor, right? My whole point is, I grew up with atheist parents, and I'm secular and not religious, and taught that religion is the opiate of the masses, right? But deep down at my nerdy, sentimental, romantic core, I am very aware that Iranians, we were originally, back in the day, Zoroastrians, okay? Which is a religion that I really think is like deep and metaphoric, and I love the fire element.
Yeah.
Okay? Judaism was, I mean, some people in the podcast will dispute me, and you can tell us, and I don't mean this in any hateful way, or we're better, or who's worse, but some people think Judaism is like the first monotheistic religion. It's actually Zoroastrianism. That's what it was rooted into. And just like Zoroastrianism, which is obsessed with the fire, Judaism also places fire at a very, very important high place. And and the best example of that is the Hebrew alphabet. The Hebrew alphabet is each letter is a different shape that the flickering fire makes. Oh, wow. So the fire...
That's so nice. It is like that.
The flickering fire, that is the Hebrew alphabet.
Oh my god, that's so nice.
Isn't that beautiful?
That's beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful?
They capture little flames.
Yeah.
They're like talking to God in the fire.
You're watching the fire, and it's flickering, and it's making all this change.
That's amazing. God's, like, I had no idea that it was like...
I mean, you got to remember, Old Testament, God, what's his name? Moses heard God's voice speaking through a flaming bush.
Oh my god.
Which, by the way, I think was a bush of weed. He was standing downhill. He basically went, took in like an ounce worth of smoke. But if you sit down and smoke a whole ounce, you're gonna hear the voice of God.
This is a conspiracy theory. Like the smoke went into his mouth, right?
You're gonna hear the voice of God.
I guess you can just sit near
How
and
can you
get
not?
high.
You're gonna hear the voice of God. You smoke a whole bush load.
I know,
a bush is burning and you inhale it. That's like
if you just stood around it, would you get high? You would get high.
Yeah. If you breathe it in, yeah.
Oh my God.
Of course.
That's so intense, man.
But anyways, whether it wasn't or wasn't, it's a bush on fire, and that's where God's voice came from.
Well, even when you watch Zeitgeist, the first section of it is just how the story of Jesus is ripped off and ripped off and ripped off and ripped off. Have you seen that? Zeitgeist? It's so good. You'd love it.
Oh, yeah. Like the Horus story.
Yeah.
The story of Horus, Egyptian.
Like the Jesus
Mother
story.
was a virgin. He fucking his dad was God. He died. He was resurrected.
Yeah.
It's Jesus, bro. That happens over and over again.
All the different religions. Like, it's so interesting how, you know how comedians, someone will do like an exposed video, like Amy Schumer stole jokes from this guy? That Zeitgeist was almost like a diss on Christianity, like, yo, it was stolen. They stole it. It was like a call out. It was like, you guys weren't the
There's
original.
a lot of stuff though, right? Was it just religion or is it kind of like loose change? It's about 9/11. It's about the fucking reptilians.
They had three
it's about
sections. The
aliens.
first section was about how religion is all ripped off. The second section is about something else, and then their banger ender, like the headliner, is 9/11 was an inside job, or something like that. Something about 9/11. That was their headliner. But they kind of had a middle section too that was interesting.
Was it an inside job?
Inside Job. I think it was. I think Zeitgeist, the third one, no, it's not Inside Job. I think Zeitgeist, the third one, is about 9/11 and how all of this builds up to make 9/11.
But was 9/11 an inside job, do you think?
I don't know. In theirs, but you're asking me personally?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, me personally.
Yeah,
Okay,
they
here's the
say
thing.
it is, obviously.
Here's the thing with conspiracy theories. I think they're like a they're true like on a cultural level. Like, I don't think it's literally an inside job. But if you think about it metaphorically, like the U.S., there's a couple of people at the top of the U.S. government. They get rich, bombing these people. These people get together, they fight back. These guys fuck with them. It doesn't have to be a conversation in a room.
Right.
It's culturally playing out exactly like a 9/11 conspiracy theory. But as a culture, it's just not literally.
They didn't have to call and be like, okay, so you're gonna hijack the plane and we're gonna let you bomb this thing.
That is just
it's
10 years of I'm
terrorists.
bombing you for 10 years. Is that phone call? That's it.
Yeah, it's like we're eventually gonna come and fuck with us.
Yeah, we'll poke at them until they do something, and then perfect, we'll just keep fucking with them.
Yeah, it's weird how like the further and further 9/11 gets, less and less people are like angry when people think it's an inside job. Like it's like more and more acceptable now. You're like, yeah, it could have been.
Oh, so you think it was an inside job?
I don't. Even when I was a kid, I never thought it was an inside job.
Yeah.
In the sense like, oh, they like fully planned it. I think it doesn't just because. Even if it is, I don't think it was like, yeah, I think it's more like what you're saying, but also I don't think it's like, yeah, like we know these exact 19 people and they're going to do it because we want them to and we're going to, but I think it's like, well, they kind of maybe could have stopped it earlier, but they kind of like.
Oh, you're talking about like that. Oh, sure.
Certain parts
there could
of
be
it
a little bit of that.
played out,
There could be a little bit of that. It's not
a little
bit
bit
of
of
right
like
to the top, but it could
a
be a
little bit
guy.
of like, well, these guys are going to do this. Well, we can parlay this into like excuse for doing
just
more
don't say
things.
anything and whatever.
Just kind of, and they're our allies. We don't want to get Saudi Arabia in
Yeah.
trouble. Bin Laden's family was like in America the day it happened. Bush's family flew them out.
That's amazing.
Like-
Dude, Second City had a great sketch about this where they did a town hall style sketch at Second City as a main stage show, but they did a sketch where basically 5 U.S. generals find out, they're like, okay, we figured out that a meteor is coming for Earth, and here's the catch, though. It's just going to destroy the Middle East. And all 5 generals are like, okay, what if we just ignore it? Like, they're all, it's so funny.
So good.
It's so funny.
Here's the thing. It's like, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, please.
It's just it's just interesting how as a culture, like, we want there to be a guy in charge. We want to say it's a conspiracy. Of course, you think there's not a guy in charge. There doesn't have to be a guy in charge. It's basically like that. Like, that political action should be put into how do we break down the people that are incompetent enough to do this, and how do we break down, like, how do we keep people from going to war all the time? Like, how do we talk people out of that? The solution is not to say it's a conspiracy, let's release the documents. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's like, okay, look, like, I've never thought, like, that, they fully planned everything out or whatever, but it's like, it's been 18 years now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or 17 years. If you, in hindsight, knowing what you know, knowing how, like, America went from, like, oh, we're kind of world police to, like, we're just the fucking empire, everything's on fire, Raytheon, Northrop Grumman, like, all these fucking big money war machines.
You watch all the documentaries
all the time. I'm just saying, if you are gonna sit and tell me with a straight face, knowing what we know, knowing all the wars they started as a pretense, still starting, war on terror, all this shit.
Yeah.
If you see all this now, and you try to tell me with a straight face that they couldn't possibly fathom the idea of killing 3,000 of their own to have... these people have killed millions around the world since 9/11.
Yeah, but you don't have to consciously plan it.
I'm not saying they did.
Yeah, you just let it happen.
I'm just saying, if you don't think that it's like within the realm of possibility that they'll be like, we'll sacrifice 3,000 of our own and then we'll basically rule the world, whether that backfired or worked or not, like that as a concept...
Trump could do it.
Like, if you don't think that they could or would...
But they don't have the organizational capacity. Who's going to put this all together?
Listen, this is a big hypothetical.
In your hypothetical, too, I don't think... Like, a lot of why people debunk conspiracy theories is because they say it's not even it's the incompetence.
This isn't the conspiracy theory. This isn't me saying this is happening or happened. I'm just saying on a moral level. Forget 9/11.
Right.
If you just have some situation where you're like... General, or sir, we need to kill 3,000 of our own people, but the payoff from that is going to be we're going to like rule the world. Whether it happened or not, they just thought that they're going to rule the world.
Yeah, it happens.
They would kill 3,000 of their own people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, oh, you're so precious to them that they wouldn't do it. They enslaved their own people.
That sounds like a scheme movie. That sounds like a scam.
Do you know what I
movie.
mean? It's very simple. Like,
I see what
I'm
you're
not
saying.
trying to say, like, they did it.
Dude, I see what you're saying. It sounds like War Dogs. You ever seen the movie
think,
War
like,
Dogs?
it's crazy to think, like, oh, they wouldn't kill 3,000 people. It's like,
yeah, they would.
What?
Have you seen War Dogs? Yeah, it's great. So
it's
War Dog, what you're describing sounds like a War Dog situation. It sounds like too young.
That's good. You're right.
Listen, it's cute. It's cute. Keep your personality.
Oh, yeah. And 3, 2, 1.
And action. Yeah. No, dude. Be Vandad. You are a radical, man. You cannot. If the train say this time, then maybe you come late. I don't know. God tell me when to come, and that's it. I'm free. I'm not a Persian pussycat. Break out of jail anytime. You can't control me. You can't control me. That's what you are. You're like don't worry, man. You have to be a radical. You're a radical. Your views are pretty radical, though.
Thanks, man.
I gotta say. Thanks. That's great. But
I mean, like, I don't know. I don't really. I mean, are they? Because I'm very anti. I don't think an armed revolution is like necessarily a good idea.
No.
I'm not like trying to like police anyone's thought. I'm not trying to like.
You know what's happening with you?
Fight like violence. I'm not violent. It's like I just think things need to change and people are too complacent.
But you know what it is with you, man? It's like, tell me if this is crazy, but I feel like Middle Eastern people are cranky right now because they're getting bombed so much, and everyone around here is like, "Why are you guys so cranky?"
Because of the threat of bombs, but also the.
I'm just talking about culturally. They're snappier. They're not like people in Canada are very like polite and excuse me.
Because there's no war here.
There's never been a war, right? So these Middle Eastern people are coming and they're coming with this like PTSD and they're like, "Hey, what do you mean? Don't tell me this. You can't. Like even with Jewish culture, there's so much like we're gonna get oppressed."
Right.
We're going to get oppressed. We can't take that shit.
Yeah.
People here don't have it like that.
Yeah. That's why the stereotypical Larry David, people are like, oh, they complain too much. It's like, no, they call you out on your bullshit. That's fucking awesome. Yeah. You get away with bullshit
David
all day.
Is the...
Like, he's obviously too much.
He's a king.
It's a show, and he's like the crankiest.
He's a male fantasy. That's a male senior's fantasy.
He's extra about it.
Us.
But anytime you see him really go into his thing, he's not doing it because he's like, oh, because I want more chocolate, or like he's not. It's a greed thing. He's like, it's even back to the days of Seinfeld. It's like we're supposed to be living in a society here.
Yeah, I know. They're complaining about life.
He's always like, hey, there's the rules. Like this is. It's like the guy. They're at a fucking like an HBO party or whatever, and there's like caviar, and one guy's like eating a lot of it. He's like, yeah, you believe this? It's like, hey. What are you doing? He's like, you've had whatever. He's like, well, I'm just enjoying it. It's like, yeah, we're all trying to enjoy it. You just made it your dinner. He's like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not because he wants more caviar.
You're getting louder. But the point is that there's a principle here. Everyone says Seinfeld's about nothing. Each episode was about a cultural, social principle where they're like, excuse me, are you one of these people that talks this close?
Yeah.
This is weird, and as a culture, as a community, we need to stop it. Like, they were saying something.
They were.
They really were. Every episode was like, well, what the hell is this? What the hell is this?
And they're extra too. It's like, Seinfeld doesn't want to go out with the girl because she has a man hand.
That's always the B story, yeah. But I find the A story was always like a cultural, like an observation turned into an episode.
This guy double parked.
Yeah,
There's a whole episode they're waiting, and it's
like
like,
a real guy.
Who is he, Saddam? And at the end of the movie, he's like, Saddam. He's like, hey, you should put on sweater, brother. You'll get cold. And then it's like, oh,
I love
scared shitless.
Dude, that show is about like just that, and Larry David feels like Jewish rich kids.
It's
like,
Jewish rich kids, yeah.
LD feels like just a bunch of old Hollywood Jewish people that are all friends. Like one's an agent, one's an actor. It's like Andy.
The original
JJ.
Seinfeld is supposed to be they're both. It's Larry David and Seinfeld, and they're both stand-ups.
Yeah.
And then they made the whole George like he's a real estate guy or whatever. But it was supposed to be they're two stand-ups in the city.
Oh, okay, cool.
Grabbing Snapples and talking shit.
But I feel like that's the originator almost to like those black comedy shows. It's almost like plays like a black comedy show or a brown comedy show. It's almost like I remember the.
It's because the Outsiders. It's like
there's so many cultural jokes in there. Like remember when Larry David he thought he was Christian for one episode.
In Curb?
In Curb. Larry David
thought he was Christian or just like was into it.
He thought his dad. He thought his dad.
Prayer Circle or some shit.
Like he thought his dad was another guy, and he saw the name, and it was like he read the name. He's like Christian, and then for like a weekend, he just turns Christian. Like he just turns he just does like stereotypes of like a goofy white guy.
That's
like
so funny.
He's like, I got my sweater over. Like he wore a sweater over his thing. He's like, I'm a Christian. He went wasp.
I know the one where they were trying to get these like. I think it was their adopted black family. Someone's kids. They're trying to get someone's kids into this like prestigious school. Or no, he's trying to get in. Oh fuck! I fucked that up. He's trying to get into a golf club. Yeah. It's the only golf club in their new area, and it's like a super Republican golf club. So he like drives in. They're like, "Oh, Larry, is that your Hummer?" And he's like, "Yes, I just got the Hummer." And he's just trying to go all goy. He's like, "Yeah, I just got the Hummer," and I was fucking whatever.
I love him. Remember when he pulls the scam to like he tells a guy like he's trying to get with a girl or whatever. So the guy goes, I'll pretend to steal her purse, and then you come and save her, and then she'll like you. Oh my god, that's too much, man. That's so funny.
Back to what we were talking about though. It's like that whole calling out.
Yeah.
It's like, he's calling you out. He's extra, but like the Jewish kind of thing. It's like call you out on your bullshit.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I don't blame them. The Christians tried to kill them for so long, dude.
Yeah, that's the cultural trauma.
And now they're like, oh, the Muslims hate us. It's like the Christians slaughtered you like every chance they got, kicked you out of every country. You ran to the Muslim countries for help.
They became friends now. They're friends now.
They're like fake friends.
They're buddies. They made a
Christian
deal.
evangelicals.
These 50 years ago, Republicans would be like, what the hell?
They still hate Jews. They're just setting up Jews for the end time. They're like, oh, for Jesus to come.
This is real radical stuff. Are we allowed to talk about this?
It's like all over Vice or whatever.
I know it's all over. Their documentaries on this are so good.
It's old news, dude.
It's old news.
I've said this forever. It's the snake in the grass. For those who don't know, they're pretending they love Israel so that because they believe Jesus will only come back when 2/3 of Israel's on fire, the 1/3 of Jews remaining become Christians and rapture. The Christians are already gone when this happens. They think they've been raptured.
It's like a pit where like they just murder all the Jews.
They're gonna fucking set up this Arab-Jew war. They already tried a few times. Israel was just successful enough to stand off their attack.
They're trying to set up an Arab-Jew war, you're saying?
They've been doing it forever, yeah. Right at Armageddon. They have Christian busloads. They go, they're like, this is the hill. This is the hill. Armageddon is from this hill. It's the name of the hill. They're like, oh, yeah, and in whatever, the armies of the Russians.
So are people
the Russian, Chinese, Iranian, Arab armies.
Are people getting guns and training? Because people do that on the...
I mean, they are, but this thing is like more like the Christian groups totally. They just want to see the hill that it's going to happen.
Yeah, I've seen that. That Vice documentary was amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm saying there's got to be a militia around there that's like, okay, well, it could happen any day now.
The IDF is a colonial is an outpost state. Like the IDF, Israeli Defense Force. It's basically like West. It's cannon fodder for the West. It's like the hired guns for the West. You know what I mean? They don't know it, but yeah, like that's how they were set up, and it's
But they're getting benefit from it. They're very powerful in the region.
Yeah, because they're getting fucking $6 billion, like whatever billions of dollars of U.S. fucking funding and all
they get
R&D
unlimited
funding.
They get unlimited funding from the U.S.
It's you know what I mean. It's literally just like it's like Blackwater. You know, Blackwater. You like
use a higher corporation.
Like mercenaries. They're mercenaries for that. Yes, they're defending themselves too, but they're being set up in a war that they'll ultimately lose.
So that Jesus
like
will come back.
when the big wars happen, like their Christian friends are just gonna drop them.
Come on.
They've betrayed them so many times before.
No, they're not going to drop them until literally Jesus comes back.
Jesus isn't coming back. They're going to fucking let them burn to a crisp.
Maybe he... then maybe they won't ever do.
They're outsourcing two things. They're outsourcing the Jews to fight the Crusades for them as a buffer state.
The Christians think that at the last second they'll convert. They did it. They wrote a loophole, Vandad. No, they're not trying to make them burn.
I already told you this. 1/3 of them will convert.
1/3 only. Okay.
The 2/3 are already on fire. That's like what it's like based on. Like.
But are those 2/3 like people that wouldn't have converted?
Yeah, they're Jews who want to stay Jewish.
What the hell?
Dude, this is what they're doing. They're doing two things.
That's in the book.
They're still yeah. Well, the evangelical Christian adaptation of it, yes. I haven't read that.
Revelations. That's Revelations where they read all those prediction stuff.
Yeah.
In Revelations, they have detail in that. They're like predicting the future, and it's in detail. It's like, this is going to be the hill, this is the hill where this happened, and it's going to all come back.
It says the neighbors of Israel have invaded it. 2/3 are on fire. Christians are already raptured. It's like already been extracted, so they don't have to worry about what happens on Earth.
Have you seen the video game?
And then the 1/3 are going to be like, okay, we're Christians now. But 2/3 are already dead. That's what it's predicated on.
Have you seen the video game? There's a video game. No. There's a video game called Armageddon. It's like Armageddon or Rapture, and they did.
It's funny how that sci-fi movie was Armageddon. I never really.
Which one?
You know. Don't wanna do and have that fucking Aerosmith song. Armageddon.
Oh, Armageddon, yeah. Where they go to the meteor,
yeah.
And they blow it up.
It's just weird that that was called Armageddon.
That's also called Armageddon, I guess. Wait, what was I gonna say? There's a movie.
Oh, about the rapture happening?
No, video game. There's a video game.
Video game about the rapture.
The video game, it's crazy. It's like if you kill an innocent person, you get -1 point. But if you shoot the right person, then it's a rapture. You get +2. But if you shoot the wrong person, then it's like a -2 and they go to hell. It's like a weird system. It doesn't just kill people. It's like I think you have a heaven gun. You have a gun that just shoots people to heaven, and if you shoot a bad person to heaven, you get -1. But if you shoot a good person to heaven, you get +2. It's like these points. It's like a point system.
Wow.
Yeah. What an interesting game.
It's fun.
It sounds like a fun game. It sounds like some other made-up like fantasy world game.
Yeah. This is what
That's
what's
so interesting about religion.
They're outsourcing two things. One, they're outsourcing the Crusades to the Jews and letting them kind of like fight the big fight of it for them. The other thing they're doing is they're outsourcing killing the Jews to the Muslims. They're playing both sides against the middle, and they think they're fucking getting away with it.
But Vandad, Jesus is not going to come back. I don't think they're ever going to betray them. Like, when's he going to come back?
How many times are you going to not hear this?
You're saying
think
that a fight's
Jesus
yes,
only
I hear
comes back after.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm sorry,
after.
Yeah.
After.
They're gonna let Israel be on fire so that Jesus will come back, and then he won't. I know, but by then it's too late.
So then, why aren't the Israelis working against that?
They don't really
it's like separate
knowledge.
It's like
against
separate.
What? Against what part of it?
It's like separate departments. The religious side is saying once they're all burning, then Jesus will come back. But the military side is saying we have to control these people.
No, they're on the same page. They're saying we need to set that up. The
military officially? The evangelical, I know, but the military doesn't officially.
They're in charge of the military. Like, they're in charge of the government.
They can write it into
the deep state.
The deep state, but they're basically fighting the Crusades right now.
They're setting up these wars so that these things happen.
But then why are the Jews setting up this war where they're going to die?
The Jews aren't setting it up. Evangelical Christians and American foreign policy is setting it up.
But what about people in Israel? Are they not seeing and being like, hey, they're setting us up to just die in a minute?
No, they're like, we need to survive. These are our allies. These are our friends. They're giving us the guns.
Yeah.
And people, like, the military there likes war. It's called the Defense Force, but they like war.
I just would like to see how they reconcile that. Like, how they reconcile the friendship. And, like, when they're talking to each other. When one senator has to go deal with them.
They're not telling them that they're doing these things.
Yeah, it's like a religious side only. That's what I was saying. It's basically the religion believes that the religious side has this reason that we need to go there because once this whole thing, this prophecy happens. So, like, they're funding it, but it's from another department.
They're just saying, we're your friend and we stand by you all times. Yeah. We'll do whatever we can to help you. We love you. But I'm saying they don't love them. They never have. They don't.
It's
Deep
also
down, they're all racist as fuck.
No, but I'm saying I'm just saying it's separate departments. Like basically, the military is another machine itself that just functions as like an economic thing.
The military is just thinking money.
We want to go to war.
A lot of money,
and like these idiots believe this.
Same with the Israeli side. They don't care. They're like, yeah, we'll take your money, whatever. They think they're big enough that okay, yeah, fine, but we're not actually gonna
do the last thing.
Do the burn. Yeah, they're not telling them you're gonna fucking be on fire. And they're like, okay, like they're just like, yeah, no, we're gonna persevere, and they think like, hey, we pretty much own America's foreign policy, and they're our donkeys too. They're just paying us.
They're paying us to just do
what
we want to do. Yeah,
and part of that's true too. Everything goes both ways.
It goes both ways. Yeah.
The Crusades.
They have a good friendship. The Crusades never ended, and they made an alliance. They made an alliance, and they're like, we're best friends.
The Christians killed Jews, including the Nazis, obviously, but the Nazis aren't even like all of it. You know what I mean? And the Christians killed Nazis forever. And even the Christians killed Jews like forever and persecuted them forever. And even during all that happening in America and stuff, people didn't give a fuck. A lot of them were fucking assholes.
Even in Canada, they didn't let a boat in.
We didn't let a boat in, and they fucking died. So don't tell me you've always been friends. Even into the 70s, just like civil rights for American black people.
There's documentaries about them working on that friendship. There's people that are like, we need to make a movement, and we're going to become friends. And there's like these lobbying groups, there's like these outreach groups, and they made it happen over 30, 40 years. Like it's a political thing.
Like in the South, at Emory University, they admitted like a few years ago that since all the way until like the 90s, they were purposely failing, like when there was like a lot of most of the Jewish people kids who were trying to get into law school, they were failing them. They're just like failing them all. Med school, they were just like failing them.
Why?
Because they're fucking Southern racists.
Because they're basically like, we can't let the Jew take over our hospital.
Yeah, they weren't letting Jews in. Just the same, they were doing the same thing. They still have it bad in just a different way. And it's like, okay, yeah, a lot of them have the American experience, so they have a lot of money and whatever, but that they're not all fucking rich. Plenty of poor Jews who are just like fucking around Hicks all the time. They're like, fucking Jews.
So I was in Brooklyn, right?
Yeah.
I was in Brooklyn. It's basically, it's like a Hasidic neighborhood. It's like the Amish living in New York.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
It's amazing.
So you go down these streets, whatever. Oh, JJ did the best joke. We were in this grocery store, and I'm the only brown guy. They were all fully in clothes, whatever, right? And we're just walking through this Jewish like neighborhood. Everyone's super Jewish, like whatever. And we're walking through, and JJ's like, "Don't worry, he's with me. Don't worry." Don't worry.
Funny. JJ Lieberman.
Oh my God, so funny. I was dying. And then all these it was all these Jewish rabbis, and they were like, "No, don't say like that. We're welcoming. Come on." Like people responded and said, "No, hey, don't say like that. Why did you say that? No." Like there's people who are like, "This looks bad in the community. Don't tell him that. We welcome him.
Yeah.
Come in. No, you're welcome here. Come on, please."
Do you know what did you look up and notice all the strings that like crisscross everywhere? Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
No. What is it?
So in Hasidic culture, you actually have strings connecting your place of living to like all the essential places that you go and your like sort of routine.
Oh my God, it's covered in that. The streets are covered in that.
You do the minimal, like a store, a fucking friend's house, like whatever. You have this like network of these strings because on the Sabbath you're not supposed to work on the Sabbath, and you're technically not supposed to like leave your domain.
So they communicated with that.
You're not. No. It's better.
Better.
But almost. You're not supposed to leave your sort of like your home, basically.
Yeah.
So by having this isn't like a new that modern. It's like a long time ago. Someone in one of the rabbis was like, if you have like a string connected to it, then it's still part of the same building. It's still part of your home. So it's a loophole. That way you can go to this. You can go to your friend's house. You can go as long as it's connected by a string.
It's like giving a friendship bracelet. You have to at one point in your life be like, "Hey, you want to be string pals?"
Now the thing is, they crisscross, and of course, like most people are like connected to it because they can like whatever go to each other, go to the store, go to a doctor. There's a doctor connected to it. But if you like say you have an argument with your friend or whatever, you cut that string.
Oh my God.
So there's some people where it's like it just ends and it like doesn't connect, or they don't connect to each other because like they're not friends. You know what I mean? So it's like don't come around the Sabbath. Like
dude, it's a weird like tribal thing. It's like it's so interesting. Yeah. It's like it's such an interesting custom. Dude, I was there one day and they just shut the whole place down. This is Brooklyn. It's beside Manhattan.
Yeah. So
they shut off all their electricity. They were done, and then I was just walking down the street somewhere. 3 different families asked me to turn on their air conditioning.
Oh yeah, because they can't do it.
They were like, "We can't." I was like, "Buddy, you can't use a stick and turn it on." no. They're like, we have to ask you to come up and do it. And they're like, Sid, you want to have water? And then they kept giving me water bottles, right? And I told Danny Polachek this. He died. They gave me water bottles. 3 different families. Dude, I'm walking up flights of stairs, turning on the air conditioning.
It's almost like you're prepping for Y2K, but just like once a week.
Yeah, once a week,
like,
yeah.
You got your water bottles.
Just in case, yeah. But anyway, he gives me water bottles, and I leave, and I realize the water bottles were refills. They kept on being so generous with these water bottles. Like, man, they're really generous with like big water bottles. They're like, here, have water. Take 2. Like, I'm like, oh, okay. They give me 2 1-liter water bottles.
You're just walking down Brooklyn with 2 1-liter bottles?
I know. It was like I got 2, and then the next guy offered me 2 more, and it was that point where I go, yo, I can't take all this. And then I realized, wait a minute, these are open. You refilled these, and these were your like hospitality gift.
That was your loop. You're like, I helped a Jew turn on his air conditioning on.
It's like my family in India, though.
And all I got was these lousy bottles of water.
It's like my family in India, though. They'd be too cheap. They're not. They're like too modest. They're like the Amish, you know, like or like people in India villages. They're like they almost have this thing in their culture where like we don't want to be wasteful.
Right.
Like, why would I give you a brand new bottle? No, it's a good bottle still. You can use it. Like, they have this practicality to it where it's like, listen, life is hard and this bottle works. What are you, a millionaire? You gonna throw it out? Come on, man. There's people starving. Reuse the bottle. It's such like uncle mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like people who've seen poverty think like that. Like, we are here, but going back to the you're Persian and you're like, oh, you're working with Vandad. He's a nightmare. Like, you're such a radical. And it's too aggressive for people here. They can't handle it. But I was saying before that, like, Middle Eastern people, Jewish people, like, they're pissed. They're like, they're coming from a place where things can happen. They could get oppressed. So they're like, fuck you, man. You gotta watch this shit. Yeah. Today they're putting a thing here. Tomorrow they're fucking rolling the tanks.
Yeah.
Listen, I've seen 5 revolutions, brother. We have to stay strong. Anytime it can fall. Okay, let's go.
It's true.
We have to make our community group. We have to get together. You have to be strong, exercise a little bit, and also make one girlfriend, have kids, man. We have to continue to fight. Like
anytime the government does something, no matter how bad it gets, we're kind of like, oh, you think you're a big man, huh? It's like the government, because like these people are really in a society where the government's never crumbled. It's like, no, the government is the power, right? Wow. The power is the power. That's how it's always been. That's how it's always going to be.
The queen
We're like,
is so stable.
I mean, it's like, okay, well, we'll vote them out, and that's the beauty of democracy. Yeah, we'll vote them out. So we do have a thing. It's like, oh, if you fuck around too much, we'll vote you out. But it's still the overlying government that gives it that authority.
We trust it.
That's always there.
We trust it.
Here, it's
that's
like,
our God almost.
But people from immigrant countries, it's like when a government's too bold, it's like, oh, you think you can never leave tomorrow? It's like,
whole thing can be on fire. You never know. Whole thing can be on fire.
That's the thing.
I was 15-year-old. I think, oh, just like America. No, everyone dead. Done. Brother, I've seen 3 times this happen.
Palestine dead, man.
Palestine dead. Palestine dead, man. Palestine dead. Oh my God.
That's an inside joke, baby.
That's an inside joke. We'll do it next time.
But oh
my God, that character though, like someone who comes, but people are like that with you. You're like so aggressive and fighting.
I think.
Yeah, explain it.
Okay, so I worked at this fucking place, right? The thing is, me and Misha are working on this podcast. Obviously, we're talking a lot of politics. He's really good with the voices. He does a great Persian accent, great Arab accent. Does a great few different flavors of Indian accents, right?
Yeah.
So he's doing this accent or whatever, and then I had a coworker, okay, Masoul, totally cool, wicked chef, right? I'm not gonna tell you where, but a really great chef, right? And a lot of people are named Masoul, so that's not a problem.
Sure.
Masood, but a lot of people are named Masood. It's Toronto, baby.
Sure.
So anyways, Masood, the chef, he's talking to another coworker, and the coworker is named Arafat, right? And he says it because he knows Masood. He knows they're both Muslim, and he kind of says it like he's an he's a Somali guy, but his name's Arafat, and he's like yeah, I'm named after Arafat, Yasser Arafat, and Masood, this Pakistani man, goes Palestine, Arafat. It's like, Palestine dead, man.
Oh my God.
He just said it's like, Palestine dead, man. And it's like, I mean,
he's so awful.
It was like,
you don't have
sensitivity. No sensitivity. Very much like me. It's just like, hey, don't you know that's? It's like, it wasn't like, he wasn't trying to be.
It is like you. He wasn't being mean at all.
Mean, but he was like, you're named after. It's like, dude, that's a lost cause. Like, Palestine's dead.
Know, it just came out of his mouth, and he
just came out of his mouth. He wasn't trying to be. He's like, Palestine dead, man.
Oh, Palestine dead. Oh,
like it's like,
oh no, you
Palestine.
Palestine.
It's like, you didn't know.
Yeah,
it's like you didn't know.
Dude, my mom would do this to people. We're just like,
it's like you're still in the You're still listening to Palestine thing, dude. That's gone.
Yeah.
Like, focus on Pakistan or whatever. You're like your version of that. You're like, Palestine dead. No, help Pakistan. Pakistan next.
Pakistan next, man. Yeah, we done. But my mom does it. She has that rudeness with people where she'll just go up to a girl and be like, "Hey, you pregnant? Come on, why not?" Like she'll but like she has that thing.
Why not?
Yeah, like she'll just go up to women and be like, "You're getting too old, can't have kid now, done, you done." Like she'll just tell people, we'll go to family shit. She'll go to family shit. Like
people she knows or strangers on
just
the
like
street.
family friends' daughters.
Yeah.
And then she'll just be like, "Come on, where's your kid? No, hurry up, come on." Like she'll have a kid, and then they'll be like, "Amish doesn't have a kid." And she's like, "Yeah, my son's an idiot. He's an idiot, stupid. You don't know to have a kid now. You old man dead now. He's a dead. Palestine dead. That's what they do. That's how they talk, dude.
Palestine. I can't help it. Anytime someone has a lost cause now,
no,
all I hear is like, "Oh, Palestine dead, man." I don't say it, but in my head, that's like
that's so awful. That's so awful, man.
Dead. Like,
that they're being crushed, though. They're being crushed, man.
They're being crushed. They're like the natives here. They're crushed.
Basically.
Yeah.
And it's so sad when you hear a conservative guy rub it in their faces when they're like, the Saudis, they didn't want to take them. So you're guys, they're Muslim, you're Muslim. Oh, none of the other Muslims wanted to take them.
Mazis.
Well, what do you want the Jews to take them? Come on, listen. We actually took a couple thousand more than any of them, but they didn't take anyone. Like it's such a rub in the face, you know.
Yeah, it's
oh, what a weird thing.
They're fucking assholes too, Saudi. Like they're dicks, but
Saudi is yeah, they're. It's
but
just
they're
like
our ally too, and Israel's allied with Saudi now. No one talks about that. That's
weird.
It's almost like, oh, what a great time we live in. They finally the two old friends reconciled, but it's like, no, that's like the worst.
The Saudis are like at one point the family was like, we are a cousin of Jews. Like he says this on TV. Yeah, he said it a couple times, and they are like they might be related. No. I'm talking about literally. I think the Saudis might be related to someone.
Oh yeah.
And they their tribe moved on from that, right. And like not even that far ago.
It's right there, dude.
It's right there.
Right there.
Not too long ago, they converted or they switched the team or whatever, or they married into another thing.
Were like
and they were like, yo, but
and stuff.
We've always been cool though. He's like, well, the Jews are our friends. We've always been cool. They're our cousins. That's what he said. Yeah. He's like, the Jews are our cousins. We have always been.
They are. It's stupid that any of them fight. It's super stupid that the Israelis and the Palestinians specifically fight because genetically it's like Mother India. They're the same. They're the Pakistanis and
I thought Palestinians are more brown.
Okay. To be honest, to be fair, Jews, because there's a European side, and after Shoah, Holocaust, a lot of them, moved to Israel.
Yeah.
So they have that European white influx. But if you go for the local Jews, they're
like brown.
They're genetically the same.
Yeah.
And if you actually analyze the Palestinians, who are actually Palestinians, whether they're Christian Palestinians, Muslim Palestinians, you analyze them, genetically they're linked back to the first Jews who were there. Like they are like the first Jews. It's just religion. They're all Abrahamic religion. They don't eat pork. If they're religious, they cover their hair. Jews and Muslims over there.
Yeah.
They don't eat pork. They cut their dicks a certain way. And they believe in one God, which is the same God of Abraham.
It's basically what Europe did.
It's the same God. Allah doesn't mean a different God.
No.
It means the God of Abraham. That's the three of them.
It's like Europe. They got past this, and now they're in a union together.
Yeah.
But Europe is like different sects of Christianity.
And they still have beef too, especially in Eastern Europe. They fight all the time.
But Germany, France, England are three players that came up kind of fighting, kind of like not getting along.
Because they're secular now. No one's really religious. You go to fucking Christmas Mass, you go to Easter. It was religious. It's America where it's like they take that shit like all the way. Which makes sense because that's how they were founded. All the really crazy radicals of Europe, they were like, we don't know what to do with you. We're going to have to throw you in jail, or like maybe you're going to try to fight us.
Dude, it takes a renegade to just run away.
So they're like, you can go to America and we won't.
Can you believe how crazy this is? You're
go to
15,
the New World and we won't arrest you.
Like no one's ever done this before. You want to go live in another place.
It's wild.
Dude, it's wild, man.
If you even make it across the sea.
They're radicals, man.
If you make it
America is a hard culture. It's like a new culture from England.
It's a new world, bro.
It's a new world. The torch is passed on, but the culture changed. England was about classism and stay in your place, and we can have a good, steady, practical empire. America's like
in England was shit, but you go there and you fucking scrap some wood, no one can tell you shit.
Yeah, exactly.
You're free, boy.
It's the Wild West.
To the point where they're like, oh, England's telling me fuck you.
I know.
But they're the first to be like, fuck you.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here, England. Ugh, that's so interesting. It's so interesting how that PragerU video we were watching, he's trying to rewrite that history. Yo, we should do that video.
Oh, you like freedom? Oh, thank the British Empire.
Thank the British
Go
Empire.
fuck yourself, you cunt.
What?
He has so much double talk.
Oh my god,
He's just like, oh my.
It's like brainwashing videos. It's like propaganda videos. It's like
oh, the great guy that set up Singapore. Yeah, fucking authoritarian state. And what about T.E. Lawrence? It's like, oh, you mean the man who either willingly or got duped into, either way, fucked over the Arabs, like lied to them,
and hated you in the end. He would be so pissed that you put him in your PragerU video.
Yeah, you want to be
By the end of his life, he was like, "Fuck the British! I can't believe what they made me do. Like they were awful. They were oppressive, whatever." And then you put him in your conservative movie. That's so awful.
That's crazy. They're psychos, man.
Yeah,
they're psychos. It's like, oh, but I have a British custom. Oh, Sati, like, shut up. Your moral high ground is nowhere to be found.
Should we go through the episode?
Yeah. What were we talking about before, though? We were getting on some cool shit.
We were. This feels like so loose. But it's like a type of episode. It's like we get high and talk about life.
Yeah.
This is like a form of episode.
It's like I'm in Egypt and I see, like, little 5-year-olds smoking, and I ask the guy in the incense hookah shop, and he's like, yes, it's no problem. And I'm like, you guys all smoke here, like, since you're young, eh? He's like, yes, it's because we Egyptians, we like to sit and smoke and think about life.
Wow.
It's like, damn, son. Like,
that's great.
I still don't think the 5-year-old should be smoking, but damn.
Whatever. I thought you were going to say in 20 years, or in 5 years, people are going to say, like, we listen to white man's burden and we have radical views. Like, people listen to our podcast and then they have discussions. Can you imagine, Vandad? That's your dream.
I'd love to start discussions, good or bad. Like, I'd love to I like to talk.
I like to talk too.
Look, I got hate for no one. I just, like, I love white people. Like, it's all good, man. We just got to get some more love out there. There's too much hate.
There's too much hate, yeah.
We do the same cycles over and over.
But it is a conservative mentality. I saw this great video about how the left is about unconditional love, and the right is like about this judgment thing where it's like, you get love if you follow my rules. If you do this, this, and this, then you can have love. It's like this strict daddy knows best kind of attitude, but it's at the heart of the difference in the culture, you know what I'm saying? So I think right now we're too right wing. And you're radical, you want to go left. You want to go to the love side.
Like, I don't like even calling sides. I just want to be on, like, a fucking reasonable viewpoint.
That is what a lefty would say.
Like, no one's hurting it. Yeah, like, dude.
I see what you're saying. You want to break the dynamic.
Left, but like, today's,
we shouldn't even be talking those terms. Why do you have to pick a team?
What is today's left? Like, look at it. It's like classical. There's one thing. There's fucking hyper. You know.
You're a radical, man.
There's like go to Antler and protest fucking selling meat, and like there's like so much.
There's all kinds of people,
and if someone wants to do that, that's their right too. And like, go ahead.
But it's our job a little bit.
I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not,
to talk about this stuff and make it like.
There's people who want armed revolution. Like, I don't want that. You know what I mean? There's different kinds of left.
Yeah.
But I just look. I think most people should somehow be somewhere in the center.
We should be. Yeah.
There's just like some basic shit. It's like, you want to call them 10 Commandments. You want to call them just like basic morals. You want to call them fucking whatever. What is the John Stuart Mill and the harm principle? You know that one? This is basic, like, poli-sci 101 or whatever, but John Stuart Mill, harm principle, he says, so, okay, you want to see if something's right or wrong, if you should do it or not? Think about it. It's very simple and basic, but it's like, think about this. If everyone fucking did that, would the overall impact on society and the world be better or worse?
Right.
Easy. It's not going to solve everything question-wise, but there's many things that fall under that. Right. Just go around swinging a fucking pickaxe, and everyone's doing it. It's like, shit's gonna go down.
You're saying this is
like, go around trying to like feed the homeless, and everyone's feeding homeless all of a sudden. Yeah, it's like a good thing.
Yeah, you're saying it's not so hard to figure out what the right thing is to do morally.
For a lot of things, it's not gonna break down everything. It's a very simple principle.
But people are radicalized too with their views. People are very like, I'm so right wing, and if you tell me that I'm offended, like people the way they talk about climate change right now, it's like people are like, fuck you. You're like, people are.
I said at the beginning
shit.
of this, you gotta reach across the fucking thing.
Yeah, you gotta reach across
to the other person.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's never gonna get solved.
So you're not a lefty or a righty. You're someone trying to bring people into the middle.
I try to think so. Yeah. Obviously, I know my bias. I grew up in a fucking lefty family, and I live in a pretty lefty city, in a pretty lefty community.
Yeah.
From a pretty lefty culture. Like, okay, you know, and it's like, I grew up in Toronto. I don't know. I have fucking healthcare. It's like, yeah, it's like, I'm definitely not like some right wing militia guy.
But
I But it's like, I also just like think everyone's potential is to be a monster. I don't care what flag you fly. I don't care what fucking you call yourself. You could start putting people against the wall and shooting them within like a few years if the conditions are right. You know what I mean?
You have that attitude of like shit could go down.
I believe it's
so we need to be strong and we need to stand up for things that we believe in. We can't just let people just change every stupid little thing and be like, oh well, I guess the government's changing that. Well, I trust them.
Yeah.
Oh, they were raising the taxes.
Everything you're saying, I believe, and then also I'm just thinking like I'm not above. Like no one is above being that fucking monster that they're accusing everyone else of being. Oh. Like literally, you want to break it down to the cliche, like Hitler. Okay, I read in this thing, it was great on the internet, whether it's fiction or what, I don't know, but it made me think, and I agree with it. This guy was basically saying like, and he claimed that his family's Jewish and whatever. He's like, I know better than anyone, like what they've done and whatever. But the whole point is, he was like, you can't go on calling Hitler a monster, because when you're doing that, you're not acknowledging that he's human. And you're by unpersonifying him and being like, it's like Voldemort. It's like we won't even talk about him. It's Hitler. It's the same thing we do with we don't talk about racism anymore. We don't say these certain words. By doing that, you're taking it out of the realm of like something that happened and something that is possible at all times, and you're putting into like it's a one-off. It's a mystical. It's mythical.
It's this mythical historical time.
It's like no, he was a person. And he's like, any of you have that in him. All of you have that in him. Everyone has the fucking Gandhi. And this isn't just me saying this. Is already cliche what I'm saying. But everyone's got the fucking saint and the sinner. You could turn into Hitler. Yeah. If you are under those conditions.
It's not good and evil. It's like it's a spectrum.
You know what I mean? You're human. You're not anything above turning into that piece of shit. So you can call yourself this. You can call yourself that. If you get too far, you're gonna cross a line where all of a sudden there's a great movie about the great example in general about this is the Irish Troubles. Like the Irish break from independence, and then that got split off into the Irish Civil War, the Troubles, which for longer than the independence movement was just them killing each other to the point where it's brother killing brother. It's a great movie, amazing actors called The Wind That Shakes the Barley, and like.
Oh, it's like an Irish movie too,
Yeah, Irish movie it's actually about the first War of Independence, and then after that, the split off in the middle. Okay. And spoiler alert, I mean, still see the movie, but at one point, like, the brother, like, their two brothers are on different sides. Because one side, England was like, yes, you can.
This is so stressful.
England was like, yes, you can have. Tell me if you want to change the subject or whatever. But
this is amazing. This sounds like the saddest story. Like two brothers basically end up on different sides, and they have to fight each other.
Yeah, so and this happened. This isn't just like a one-off fiction. This is the whole families in Ireland just got crushed from the middle. Because then it became later Protestant versus Catholics. But at this point, it's not even that.
What is it?
It's just so they got together in their little ragtag rebel army, starting with the Easter Rebellion, and then a few years later, the actual Irish Civil War. Or sorry, not Civil War, War for Independence. But that only lasted like a year or two. And England was very quickly like, yes, we accept, and we will truce with you, and we will let you be a country, and you'll be a dominion like Scotland, and whatever. And you're free, you can run yourself, you just have to swear allegiance to the crown. It's like, it's just the one caveat, you have to do that. And half the Irish, or whatever, I don't know the split, like maybe 40-60 or half, I don't know. But part of the Irish were like, yes, we need peace, we need to like go with it.
Just end it like Scotland.
End it.
Put the unicorn out of
just
the
whatever.
Animal.
We'll start by saying we switch allegiance. But once we do that, we'll have ground, and then we'll get that gone too, right? We'll take off the Scottish the crown or whatever.
Yeah.
But the other half were like, no, fuck that. I don't have a king.
They can't be ruled. They can't be ruled. And the Irish are amazing. Fighting. Dude, Irish culture is way cooler than British.
So what England does is they're like, okay, so all our assets and everything that we have in the thing switches over. It's Irish soldiers anyways, mostly. The few officers get switched. All of it becomes now part of the Irish Republic army. And so they became the big guys because they just inherited all this shit, and then the rebels kept fighting them. So in the movie, two brothers, one of them stays a rebel, and at a certain point, he's in his jail, and he's like, please, just...
Come on, just drop it.
And the thing is, when they were both kids and starting against the British, there was one guy who got suckered into snitching to the British, and he had to fucking kill that guy, even though he's his friend, and he's this little boy who just got not little boy, but like younger one who just kind of got mixed up and you know got pressured or whatever.
It's just these hard times, little situations.
Sorry for the whole movie recap, but because of that scene, now when that dude who had to kill that guy is in the jail, and his brother's like, you gotta fucking join. Come on, it's not so bad. We're still Irish all the way, whatever. He's like, you don't understand. Like, I had to fucking kill so and so. Like, it's just like there's no going back, you know.
Oh.
And it's like, and that's movie and whatever.
That was his breaking point.
But he died. He died. His brother had to kill him.
Yeah, but his thing was like, I saw too much and I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, I've done too much. It's just you can't. Oh, and there's a beautiful scene where it's like at the beginning of the movie, you know, it's a lot of foreshadowing, but one of their first hideouts, like after, like later, like it's getting stormed by, you know, the brother who's like a captain in the like whatever, and the woman is like, how many times did we feed ya when you had nothing and we fed you?
Oh my god!
And like, we had us at your house, we had you here, and this is how you do us now. Like,
oh my god!
It's so good. The wind that shakes.
Does he get sad? Does he get sad?
I mean, what do you think? He doesn't have crazy PTSD to kill his brother. It's like a fucking.
Does he kill them? Like when they're saying, look what we did.
Oh, those people know. He just arrests the guy he needs to, and I don't know. I think they burned down the place.
No.
They're still harboring fugitives.
How sad.
Like,
how hard things can get, you know?
It's amazing. And then they later, not even in the movie, just in real life, the troubles went on because then the engineered split between the fucking Protestants and whatever, Protestants and Catholics.
Yeah.
So they had like 4 stages of fighting.
But isn't it interesting how this is like the
North
modern
Ireland
world
is still under
like,
occupation.
This is civilization, and it's made up by the British. Like what our civilization is it?
Most of it, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. They were like
some of it was made up by the French and whatever, but all those colonies are like gone and whatever.
We're basically living in their leftover thing.
Yeah.
Like so, we're living in a continuation of like this is the system, or we'll all kill each other.
And we just got the best side of it here in Canada, so
Yeah.
we're good. But like so many other parts of the world are fucked, and it's because of the same reasons that we're so good.
Yeah, because we're basically getting rich off of like Chinese slaves and stuff like that. It's so sad.
And it's part of the same system.
It's so sad. No, but it's the same way as like these guys. The British industrial revolution was on the backs of like draining India.
Yeah.
America.
Crown jewel.
The crown jewel. Oh, we had Madam's favorite slave, number 1 slave.
Number 1.
Crown jewel over here. Dude, that's so like pathetic. So like you're my crown jewel.
You can't pass judgment on them like.
No, but it's so demeaning. I'm saying.
It's so demeaning.
It's how demeaning.
It's
to be like,
so sad.
You're my favorite slave.
Yeah.
You're my sweetie little pumpkin pie Jubilee Grand Diamond slave. Grand
like,
jewel of it.
It's like a house Indian.
Yeah. The country was it had to have a lot of people like that.
House slaves.
But you know all the starvings? There's something about looking at the pictures of those people who starved.
Insane.
It's insane.
There's nightmares.
But there's something about seeing that and seeing how that humbles a people. like you know when my mom is saying like you're getting too uppity, be careful, whatever. She's got fears of like there could be a famine, and then you gotta watch it. Life gets crazy. It gets too hard after that. Like they've been through stuff.
Well, they've been through so many famines that it's like collectively still on the.
Yeah, it's on their mind. They're like,
wild.
hey, what if there's a famine? Like, watch it.
There's a thing.
Just to hide money in the walls.
There's a thing where like when like say like me, you, and a few other friends are sitting together, there's an exact amount of time. I don't know. Let's just say hypothetically like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, whatever it is. Every single interval of that amount of time. Everyone, whether they realize it or not, the whole group just stops for like a second, like instinctively.
Yeah.
Just there's a moment of silence where no one says anything, taking a breath, whatever, and that is built into us from all the way back to when we had to listen for predators, like wild animals and like.
Right when you said listen for predators, I listened for predator. Like you said it, and it's my instinct was like boom.
Yeah, like. We all instinctively, from caveman times, like, eventually it's like, there's fucking tigers out here, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, we're terrified of nature.
Once in a while we have to be like, okay, yeah, what were you saying?
Yeah, dude, we'll twitch. We can twitch.
So,
like, if something flashes over here, we'll be like, oh, what is that? Like,
yeah.
It's not good. There's nothing...
It's good. It's survival mechanisms.
Survival mechanisms are still built in. Yeah. Even, like, getting horny.
Sorry, the reason I said that, I mean, other than interesting fact, Vandad, full of random stuff, is it's almost like that collective famine thing is like a version of that's been instilled
Dude.
It's like every once in a while you have to be wary of food because, you know, there could still be a famine. Like, you don't know.
You never know.
Like, we're here in Canada. We're lucky so far, but, like, you don't know.
You never know. You know, save your money.
You don't know if we're still going to be allowed to be here. Like,
yeah. It really breaks down these people. Like, if you're starving.
When Trump won, I remember it was like an Iranian holiday, and like it was like me, my dad's side of the family, like my sister, whatever. It's a whole family friends. There's like 20 Persians, and it's all families. A few different, like 4 or 5 families. We're all just there, maybe more, whatever. And Trump had just won, and I remember they had, and it was just recently, a few years ago. We had like a 4-hour conversation, like all the kids were like listening in and stuff, and we're like, are they going to? Because he was like, no Muslims and whatever, and we're like, are we still gonna be like allowed here? Like we like and it was like cheerful and jokingly, but like we had a 4-hour talk.
Oh my god!
And like some people were more afraid than others, and some people were like, no, it's my dad's always just like, government. You think government forever? No.
Yeah. Well, they've been working on their "We're Not Arab" application for like 60 years. Yeah. They've been working on this like "We are not Arab." I send the paperwork to government. I send paperwork to madam. I don't know. She sent me. She take my oil? No, we are white. We are not Middle Eastern. No. Mistake happened. Some mistake happened. We are not a Middle Eastern people. This is a big mistake. That's what basically. That's why they're trying to separate, because the culture. It's like they want to be like, no, we're not like them, dude. Because the culture, the dominant culture, is like oppressive to them, and they're like, don't do this to us. Hey, come on.
It's like I'll go as
back
far
off.
As saying, you know, like I said, the collective trauma and stuff.
Yeah.
And I said also like maybe there's collective victories and stuff. Like Iranians have like a sort of very like even the poorest Iranian is like, I am proud of myself, who I am.
Oh, a lot of people are like that.
But it's
a
like,
lot of people like that.
We're also like very arrogant and stuff, and a lot of that is like, dude, they were like fucking empire for a while. They're like,
I was telling you, I feel like Punjabis,
we're the best. Like,
Punjabis have that.
Why aren't they all bowing to us? Like, what are they?
Yeah,
do they not know who we are?
Dude, Punjabis have that because Punjab, it's like a warrior, like the warrior is part of their thing, right?
One of the martial
arts. I was telling you before that, like if there's like 5 of them in a town of 10 million white people, they'll run for office. Like they don't give a fuck, man. Yeah. They're like, come on, why not? I was telling you about the documentary. Yo, I gotta talk about this documentary. I was in this documentary on Omni years ago, right? And my mom is in the documentary saying like, this whole acting and comedy, it's stupid. I don't know why she's like, there's no money in it, and I'm worried about him. Like she's just so sad in this documentary, right?
And that's years ago. Now she knows. You're
6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
Now she's like, oh, he's killing it.
Yeah.
No, she doesn't care.
He's on TV. Wow.
Yeah. That helps. But she's, but she says this on the documentary, and then a week later, some Punjabi man goes to their factory, buys his food. Like they own a catering company. They have like a front retail section, and they just sell food to people. So he comes, buys a bunch of food, and then as he's leaving, he saw the documentary, and he wanted to let my mom know. So he buys all his food, and he's like, "Oh, excuse me, Mrs. Patel, you should support your son trying to be an actor. Come on, only white guy can be hero. Our boys can be hero too. Okay, Mrs. Patel, this is wrong. Come on, our boys can be hero too."
And he's not even the same religion, just to clarify.
No, he's just like brown
it's like,
pride.
Yeah, he's like that.
He's like, we need our people in the media, baby.
Hell yeah.
Like what? And it's like he was breaking it down to politics, I think too.
Hell yeah.
It was like
he wasn't just like, oh, it's your boy from our area. He was like, yeah.
This is part of like we can't just let everyone be looking up to white people all the time. We have to. Our boy can be hero too. Why?
Hell yeah.
Only white guy tell the news. No, I tell my wife tell better than like they're like put our boys
kids and it's like
they're competitive like that
tell
too.
His kids like, oh no, you can't get to the top. What the fuck's the point of being here?
I know.
What they scrap to get out of if it's gonna be the same shit.
Yeah, we are not prisoner in Shamubarak jail, brother.
Yeah, exactly.
I break out of jail not so I can be slave. I'm free man. Exactly. Come on.
Like that's the thing. Like we were talking about the immigrants. It's like the sort of complainy or like, hey, you got to do this. Hey, what's this? Like it's like. We know, like, it's like, no, government is infallible. They can all crumble tomorrow. But when we come here, too, it's like, whatever the rights are, we're like, okay, we're all in. So, we're you. I have Canada.
Dude.
Canada. This say Afghanistan? No, it's like Canada passport. Canada citizen. My son, Canada birth certificate. So they're like, you have it? You don't dare say I can't have it. You know what I mean?
But also,
I'll earn it. I'll work for it. Like the immigrant is like,
but I deserve it. And
I'm
also,
gonna fucking make pizzas for you and like fucking drive your cabs. But it's like whatever the immigrant gets, it's like you are not gonna fucking take away
from me.
You're not gonna tell them they can't move into your area.
Yeah.
It's like, yo.
And here's the benefit of that. when the shit goes
I'm
down,
not hostile.
no, not hostile. They get equal, right? And here's the benefit of that: when the shit goes down, they're gonna fight. Like these guys are gonna be soft, man. When the shit goes down, I'm telling you, man.
They try to like.
If the shit goes down,
like lynch and shit.
Yeah, I feel the first like it's gonna be almost like a pump up speech of immigrants telling like people born here. They're like, hey, we went through this in Russia once, man. Come on, you can do it.
Yeah.
Hang in there, pal. Like all these Canadian born like people like me are gonna be like PTSD. I'm like, I can't do it anymore. And some guy who's from like Serbia or like the Middle East, he's like, buddy, I've been through like 3 of these. You got it, man.
Yeah.
Dude, let's go.
Let's
go get a drink.
A lot of veterans of like a lot of actual veterans.
We're not ready for that.
We're not ready. People don't think about that, but a lot of veterans of foreign wars live in Canada.
Of course.
They move here. And I'm not just talking about old people. I'm talking about like young people. I met a dude who,
How old?
30s.
Really? Veterans of other wars now?
Yeah, people move here all the time.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, like... Or
like a small skirmish, like a veteran of I fought in like Afghanistan.
Not like World War I necessarily.
No, but I fought.
Dude, there's so many little wars all the time.
Yeah, they never stop.
There's like 2-week wars.
Yeah, there's a little 2 weeks. I did an operation in Iraq.
At the very least, even if you weren't in the war, you're probably from a country that has you have to force serve for 2 years when you're 18. So like everyone knows how to use a gun. Like so many people
force serve in America. No.
Oh, I'm not talking about America. I'm talking about people in Canada who are from other countries.
Oh, they were forced to serve in those countries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like most countries you have to do it for 2 years.
2 years you gotta go.
Big bad soldier. You just like do the basic.
Yeah. Israel has it for sure.
Yeah.
Most
countries have it. Even Europeans, lots of them.
We're too afraid of that. We don't want to do that.
Dude, Norway is a beautiful.
Why don't we do that though? I feel like we should do that.
I think it's actually great.
Good exercise.
I think it's just everyone's exercising,
and it keeps you grounded.
It's camaraderie. It's this big like you're all part of the experience. And
why don't we do that?
It's great. We should.
It's brilliant.
And it means we have a real chance at defense.
Yeah,
at all
and
times.
We'd be proud of our country. We'd go all around the country. We'd see all of it.
Brilliant. We should.
Like we'd be Navy guys. We'd go do. Oh, I did my tour. I did my 2-year
pilot's
thing.
license.
I did a 2-year thing.
Dude, it's great.
Wherever.
I think we should all do it.
We should all do it. It's great. I actually kind of wanted to join the reserves, and my parents lost it.
Yeah, mine too.
They're like, no, you're stupid. They're gonna make you die.
They think they're gonna die. But it's because they're from countries where, like, you...
I know. They're like, I don't trust it. No. What do you think? They're going to train you for free, you idiot? No, you're going to die. I'm like, buddy, they're rich. Who cares? If anything, I was trying to tell my parents back then even that, like, no, I'll be in a position to save everyone. Are you kidding me? Like, I'll work up some political thing, and I'll be like, okay, guys, this is how shit's going to go down. Like, I'll be the first to have the information. I mean, I should be telling everyone, really. But this is part of the politics thing. It's like people who work into politics, that's part of what they want to do. They want to have the power to be like, I'll know where to get away. I'll know where I can do this. I want better access to these contacts. The
reason I don't go to Iran often is because until I'm like 50 or something, it's basically like I can go there.
You gotta go to war.
I can go there for 6 months and I'm okay.
Yeah.
But after 6 months, if I'm in there for a day longer, they come take me.
Stop it.
And I have to be in the military for like 2 years.
Oh my God, 2 years.
Like they won't let you leave the airport if you're like a day out.
What a great movie. You get your heart broken and you're like, you know what? Fuck this.
Fuck it.
And you just go. No, the rom-com would be so funny. It was like a day before the draft. You and your wife to be are gonna leave, and then she's like, "I think I want a divorce," and you're like, you know what? I'm going to the army. God damn it!
They give you the one day off. I'm just like, "Hello, Canadian government. Can I do anything for you?" Like, just like my heart bleeds for Canada still.
Can you send someone to come get me? That's so funny.
Oh, you know what's fucked is this is a Harper era leftover, but it's total bullshit. If you're in most countries in the world and you're in trouble, you can at least call the Canadians and they'll like see what they can do and give you lawyer service or whatever. But if you're an Iranian-Canadian dual citizen in Iran, you are on your own. They're like, we can't do anything.
Harper okayed it?
It's Harper era, yeah. He closed the embassies and stuff too. But then Trudeau's is like just total Harper era leftover. He hasn't done shit for foreign policy.
For Iran.
He's an idiot. For anything. His foreign minister accidentally like got into a Twitter beef with fucking Saudi.
Yeah, didn't he?
They did a little bit.
The Saudi. They cut off the weapons.
Yeah.
What's the fallout on that? I want to see that. I want to see like some kind of. I want to see if
Saudi Arabia's going to go to war with Canada.
No, London, Ontario.
They're already the funders of terrorists.
I'm talking about London, Ontario. I want to go see. I want to talk to someone who's like, yeah, I've lost my contract.
Sell it somewhere else. There's a bunch of countries that'll fucking buy that shit. Whatever. Why is it gotta be Saudi Arabia?
Or, as a culture, we don't want to make guns anymore.
Sell them to the police for cheap and have a military state.
Yeah, but how do we get out of being in that system of like fighting all the time? These people's lives depend on it. They have to make their money, whatever. I mean, how are we going to move away? It's like it's got to be a slow pull away from that, because we're built for it. America's economy that's all they do.
Specifically for a while, like wasn't. We're getting into it now. We were the peacekeepers and stuff for a while because we had the guilt of turning away those Jews and guilt of letting people suffer.
Indigenous people, yeah.
Yeah, but now we're kind of becoming the same industrial. I mean, the fact that we had an arms deal with Saudi Arabia is like wild.
That's very interesting.
That's just like, how did Canada even become that country?
What a weird contract thing to negotiate. No. Like, hey, let's be friends. You know what? Well, I'll make you some tanks. It'll just tie us together, kind of.
They fund the terrorists.
And then literally it's like, I don't like you anymore. Oh, yeah? Well, I'm not going to buy your guns anymore.
We're also going along with weird U.S. shit where it's like, oh, because we're NATO. NATO is turning into like little fascists. They're fucking...
You're a radical.
NATO is funding like neo-Nazis in Ukraine. Fucking...
Why?
Because it's all anti-Russian. It's the McCarthy era, like, anti-Russian shit again.
Oh, my God.
They're so anti-Russia that they're funding Nazis just to be like, well, at least they're not Russian.
The way you look right now, this is so hot, dude. You're like a guy in a movie. You're like a radical guy in a movie, and I can just see just girls in the 70s being like, wow, how do you know about all this stuff? That's so cool, Vandad.
Internet, mostly.
Wow, you, like, really care about this. And then they would have sex with you right now. It's incredible.
I fucking got into a talk about the Middle East politics once with like a super hot girl, and then about an hour into talking about Syria, it's like 6 a.m. She's like, well, anyway, it's like, I mean, it's just too late now. I gotta go to sleep. And I was like, okay, I'll leave.
Oh my God.
Like, it was just
literally the opposite of that happened.
Yeah.
Literally the opposite.
Yeah, it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm so turned on. I was like,
I know.
The other thing about Syria? She's like, yeah, it's 6 a.m. I'm gonna go.
There's a girl out there that's gonna get turned right on by that, and that's who you're gonna get married to her.
Hello there in Radio Land.
Hello out there.
iTunes.
Yeah, you're totally gonna.
I mean, I'm doing okay anyways. Some girls like me. It's all good.
No, but I like the idea of this show and how it feels like a 70s rock and roll bad boy.
Yeah, I mean, for the people who've seen us already, I mean, if you haven't, please check them out. We got 2 videos out so far as of this date, but we're going to have some more coming up. White Man's Burden. The first one's the real May 2-4, and you will not fucking believe what May 2-4 in Canada, which is our big party season, Victoria Day, is really about. It's got some dark, dark twists, gay.
Wow.
The other thing that we have out so far is part of our series with Flax Films, where we're on location right in front of the beautiful Queen's Park, Ontario Parliament. That's our seat of government. We're sitting around by a statue of Queen Vic, and we're talking about, some of the impacts of colonialism. But this podcast, as you can tell, so far it's been a little bit different. We got the colonial vibe. We're talking about the post-colonial, the whatever. But
you can talk though. I like this. I like what you're doing.
We've been talking about how
it's beautiful.
We want to get more into the nitty-gritty. Like, how does it impact our lives? We don't even see. It's not just colonialism, like you're saying, the military-industrial complex.
Yeah, how it relates to things today.
It's the
legacy of it, like how it relates to what's happening today.
There's even stuff like all the fucking like NGOs and non-government corporations going into a place, controlling the resource, not going by the sender's countries, like not going by America's labor standards, going, well, their labor says we can just like whip them and tie them to the thing, so we'll just do it.
It's like the mining companies.
We're making our American money. Yeah, Barrick Gold.
Canadian mining companies are like vicious to South America.
They've like in Africa too. They've hired assassins to like kill the
So there's this tribe in South America. They chopped the guy's arm off in front of his tribe, and then they killed him.
Yeah.
But they chopped his arm off to be like, it will fuck you up.
Yeah.
But you have to take down a leader to break down his people. That's another way to break down people. Like, starving people is one way to break down people.
Yeah, but you're in their country fucking clearing their land. Like, you should be fucking rid off.
But what a strategy. Like, the people are fucking with you.
Well, it's a great strategy.
And you take their leader, and you kill the leader, and then what happens to those people? They're just like,
fucked.
Well, what do we do?
Even the trained, like, militaries of the Western world, there's the army of one, and there's the sort of thing of like individually you can all whatever, but really if you just like kill the generals, like they're just gonna be running around like idiots, like they don't know.
Yeah.
In the heat of battle, that's any army. Like you're not even talking about army. You're talking about like a society.
Without your leadership, it all crumbles. Yeah, it all crumbles. Yeah. Well, dude, even these military like expeditions they have to do, they have such strong organization from the top. They're like, this is a troop and this is a platoon, and these 500 people are ordered to go here on Tuesday, and they will land at 0900 this day. Like they're clockwork.
The rotations and the patrols.
They're so on point.
Oh, while these people are doing exercise, we won't have enough people to defend, so that we'll have this other reserve unit coming from here to temporarily relieve them. And you have to.
It's almost like they need practice. And they're always doing something.
Practice.
They always need to. Wow. No, there's military guys that are like, if you stop fighting, your army gets sloppy.
Battle readiness. Yeah.
You have to be battle ready. So there's military generals who they want to just keep fighting somewhere. Like, what do you mean we're going to stop fighting? No, we have to keep fighting. Like that's how this machine keeps rolling. That's how we get good. We're going to take them here. We're going to take them there. We're going to intimidate them. Like,
I need to clear this inventory of missiles before I can call my cousin at fucking Raytheon and order more, or whatever. My friend. Who I grew up with, before I can call him and say I'll take fucking 800 more missiles, I gotta fucking get rid of these ones.
I mean, they would be friends.
Find me some people that need missiles. Find me some people to train to shoot missiles, live fire. And
let's go. We got a machine here. We gotta keep it rolling. Yeah.
It's got oil, baby.
And it would be his cousin because that's how you get those jobs. You're like, you have the job. It's like my dad did the job
it's
here.
His fucking university frat friend. They
frat friend,
both raped a girl together, like. Fucking cunts, you know what I mean? They're assholes, and they're fucking. We are from the cult of death.
They're like upper class.
They are the cult of death.
It's like upper class American. Like we're part of the military industrial complex. We're part of
the more people you kill,
the more money I make.
More money.
Yeah.
You want to see something really good? You'll love this. You call me a radical, right?
You got to see the Pearl Jam video. Have you seen that?
The audio is good enough on this that like our viewers will love it, and you're gonna love it. And obviously it's biased because. It's very, very nice to ear on.
What is this?
It's this radical woman who just... Did you see this already?
No.
She interrupted the U.S. general who's like, we need to take out Iran's missiles and we're going to fucking go to war with them.
Oh, let me see this radical lady.
This white woman just interrupted the fuck.
Oh, I saw this.
You saw this, right? She gets dragged out.
Yes.
So good. You already saw it?
Oh my god, no, I didn't see it. I just saw a thumbnail. Play it. It's so good.
It's coming up right now.
Dude, I love these radicals. She's like you. She's Persian?
No, she's white. She's just a smart woman. You don't have to be Persian to be fucking smart.
She knows what's right.
It's coming.
She knows what's right, and she stood up for it.
I should really share so much shit.
They're being so hard on fucking Iran right now.
5 million people have seen this, on this.
Huge.
But so...
Yes, I saw that.
This protester was dragged out.
I want to hear her. Come on, why are they doing this stupid thing?
Oh, yeah.
No, I want to see a video.
It's time for all nations to join us in holding Iran to a new level of accountability for its destructive behavior.
Where's the accountability of America? Special envoy to Iran. Go fuck yourself.
What is this bullshit, man?
She comes in.
The world community wants to keep the Iran nuclear deal. Our allies are the Germans,
she's getting away from
the
security.
French, the British. They want to keep in this deal. The world community wants to keep the deal.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about normal countries. Let's talk about Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, girl.
Is that who our allies are?
Hell yeah.
They are the biggest threat to the world community.
Yes. We gotta put this volume down, but this is incredible.
You're hurting yourself. Go fuck yourself.
Do you think these sanctions are hurting the regime or are they hurting the Iranian
Exactly.
They're hurting the Iranian people.
Exactly.
Yes.
Look at his face. Look at this cow. Everyone, 5 million people have already seen this.
Person.
Look at this guy's face.
Oh my god, he's just stone cold. He's
just a little nerd who's like,
this is like a sci-fi movie.
I'm just trying to sell some guns. Why is this woman yelling at me? Oh my god. Ew.
This is like a sci-fi movie.
Can't even look her in the face.
I know.
Fucking cold pussy.
Oh my god, what a maniac.
In the case of Iraq.
Exactly.
This woman is so hard.
Non-violent, no nothing. How did Iraq turn out? Exactly.
We have the people of Syria suffering.
Boom.
And how dare you bring up the issue of
Yes.
women?
That's so smart.
Oh my god, she won't stop.
Oh,
She won't stop.
She got 5 points
Oh,
up.
she's killing it.
Let's get real.
She's
no more war.
killing
That's
it. Oh my god, I love her.
Boom.
Wow.
That's a
the way it just keeps going like that, it's beautiful.
It's so good, right?
Dude, can you rage like that? You can rage that hard.
Yeah.
You get hurt a little bit, you like that.
They didn't hurt her. I mean, whatever. They did a little. Yeah, that's nothing.
Dude, that's hard to do.
Oh yeah. No, I know.
Yeah, that's so hard to do.
I've been in those situations, and I've been very lucky to get away from it too. Wow. Because I'm very tactical. I mean, we had earplugs, we had gas masks. We were ready if they fucking went with the gas, like whatever.
Oh my god.
We had teams. We went on teams and bought all the equipment as part of that to get all the equipment. So
yeah,
make
you're
sure,
radical.
You know what I mean?
You're like a guy who
But
protests.
it's Canada. It's like it's still, you know. We actually had a few people allowed to officially be in the meeting while Rob Ford was trying to do cuts. It was like a late night meeting, and we were part of Start Up the Cuts, and like we actually had people who were allowed there. The rest of us tried to sneak in, and they couldn't let in all of us. But they're like, 2 of you can come in, like your media people can come in.
Yeah, it's the right thing to do.
It's Canada, baby. We're
Remember
not
when we
under
shot
that
under,
fascist
remember we shot under the
dictatorship.
Queen Victoria statue? The
Yeah.
guy came up, what a sweetie.
He was so sweetie. Thank you to Queen's Park for letting us do that. You know what I mean? Totally just
Yeah.
exercising some freedom of speech, but we love where we are. We're citizens of this beautiful country. We came to our government.
I pay my taxes. I was born and raised here.
Yeah.
This is my country.
Yeah, and
it's a beautiful place.
We're not arrogant about it. We're not just like, hey, fuck you.
But we can say fuck you to the Queen.
Yeah.
We just said fuck
We're
you to the
allowed
Queen
to.
for a minute.
Yeah.
She starved a bunch of people. You know, she
She
murdered a
starved
bunch.
50 million people, okay?
And the statue's still up. It's fine. I don't care. I'm not saying take it down. I'm
We're
saying
not even saying
we can
take
just
it
say,
down.
Fuck you.
But we can sit under it.
just send her, shoot a thing, say like fuck off. You know?
Mm-hmm.
You can say that. It's not.
Yeah,
It's fine.
I don't have to love her. And
She seems lovely. She seems like she killed it.
she's lovely. She thought she was saving the world.
She
so.
seems like she really killed it. Like she
Yeah.
got an era named after her.
She's a G.
Oh my god.
Victoria Rand.
Yeah, yeah. Even the movie they
20M.
did about the first Elizabeth, they did like a movie about it, and it's about like this woman was a G. It basically follows the story structure of The Godfather. She became the Godfather of Europe, and it's like the similar like the last montage is a bunch of people getting assassinated, and now I am the queen. It's like I fucking won this shit. It was a Game of Thrones basically, literally I guess, and she won Europe, or like she beat the Spanish or something like that. I gotta watch it again, but it's incredible, man. But it is probably propaganda, right? No, it sounds
The
real.
whole story or that movie? I
Just
mean,
the way they make those movies. Don't you find that they're very much
propaganda is a
like
strong word too, but yeah,
Propaganda is a
I
strong
mean,
word.
it's like it's
they're
whatever.
trying to say like look how great we were. kind
Yeah,
of.
I mean it's history written
Yeah,
by
it's-
the victor, and it's dramatized for a fact.
It's romanticized,
I'm sure
yeah,
there's
yeah.
some elements in there.
Yeah, of course, right? Yeah, because like I love them. You know, I don't have any beef. You know, everyone I know is just like, oh,
Actually, I have no beef. I joke around a lot, but I have no beef.
Yeah.
I just see some of it not fixed yet, and we just can't keep making the same mistakes.
when you hear about it, you're like,
Can't
yeah,
keep
that
making
I
countries.
know that's wrong.
Can't keep dividing and
But-
conquering.
Yeah.
Can't keep stealing resources.
Yeah,
They
seem
starting
like
wars,
they're-
destabilizing countries.
I know they keep saying
You
that
just
they're not
can't
doing
do
that,
it.
but they
You're
did.
doing
They
it
did it to
all the
Iran. They
time.
did it to Iran.
Dude, Iran's old news.
And
They're
then
doing it
Falklands,
all-
oh
they're
my
still doing
God.
it to Iran. They're doing it all the time.
Falklands War documentary. Oh my god, it was
They
so
still
sad.
make countries. You understand this?
Make.
Europeans still make countries.
Don't Americans do that now? How does England
Americans
get
and
to-
Americans, everyone's doing it. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
just the fact that it's
Like how do you mean? Yeah, they're in the game. They're basically in the game. They have a seat at the
Dude,
table. They go to the UN.
you formerly called the Sudan and then ruled by Egypt
Yeah.
and England. Okay, in today's Sudan, they fucking split it into two. Like in
They basically
2006.
have a say
They made
in
South
that.
Sudan and Sudan, and then they fight all the time. And then South Sudan internally had a civil war like
So
the
sad.
next year. Like,
It's
why
so
are all these
sad.
people needing to fight? You got the small new country fighting itself while fighting the fucking former country. Like, and literally, I'm not making this up. The election day, you know what the thing was? It wasn't even written like, do you want to split up or what? It was two pictures. One was like, it's like holding hands, and the other was like, no.
What?
Like,
What
which
is
one do you want to vote for? Do you want to vote for
Oh
like
my
we still keep
God.
holding hands, or the other one is like, no. And people
it? Your act out on the no card is
Okay,
so
yes,
funny.
yeah, but yeah.
It's so funny. That's
Like, I
hilarious.
didn't,
It's like
you
a
know,
sketch. It's like a sketch.
but it's literally-
like, no.
all I'm
Like,
saying
no,
is
like, they're
I'm
like,
not-
mad at each other.
I'm not like Africans are educated and there's lots of education and whatever, but that means that it's like most of the people like overall are like at such a low
You think about Sudan? You're talking about
baseline
in Sudan when they had
education.
wherever they had that vote. Yeah,
The
no, I
baseline
got
of
that.
education was
Yeah,
just
I got that.
low.
I got you.
They shouldn't be fucking making that decision. Period. I mean, it's good that it was like a democracy, but it's really
Right.
that's like saying it's like it was gonna happen. It's like oh,
So
look
then,
up-
who should rule
fill out
them?
the
What's
pictures.
their answer to that?
Be a united country. Work out your differences. It's easy for me to say. I'm not judging you, Sudan. Like you want to split, dude. They split the Europeans and
The people that wanna stay together,
Everyone made them split, encouraged the split, and the whole split was because the South Sudan wanted their own Christian Sudan country. Like, you think they'd do that if it was like, oh, the Muslim Sudan wants its own country? And you think George Clooney would have been there fucking standing, being like, I think they should do it?
Wow, you're going against George Clooney?
I'm not going against him. He has nice intentions. He's a UN
yeah, he's nice.
goodwill guy.
He's a great guy. What a great guy.
But it's like, yo, the Christian...
Good night and good luck.
If there's Christians
God.
there, it's because of the missionaries.
Yeah,
So why should the legacy of the missionaries get its own chunk of a fucking Sudan? Hasn't Sudan been split enough by the
But you're saying George Clooney supported that?
I mean, look, the way they present it is like this is a country being
like they're
born.
free, they're free now.
Free liberty. So, I mean, he's part of the UN Goodwill Mission. Like, he pretty much had to be there. It's not like he's, like,
Clooney.
specifically got a stake in this.
Clooney killed him. Look at Good Night and Good Luck. He knows,
I'm
he
saying,
knows his
why
politics.
is the luck, like, the... Yeah. But why is the Christian ones get their own... Like, the missionary legacy gets its own country? Fuck that. It doesn't need a country. They can be citizens in Sudan, and it can all work out. But, like, no... And anyways, they had their own civil war internally, and it's like they're not even...
That's fucked. When they have the civil war, when there's someone else, like, what are you going to do?
They split up countries all the time. If they're not making a new border, they're toppling a government and putting in a new government.
It's so sad when you talk to people from there, and they're like, yeah, they fucked us, man. They did this, and we had a democratically elected guy.
Like, no.
Some CIA guy killed him. Dude, it's so sad every time I hear it.
American made with their
and then they're here in America,
the Contras and all that shit.
But then they're like in Canada or they're in America. Like they go back and forth. It's cool. But then you talk to them, and they're like, oh my god, you're dead.
So much. Oh my god.
I'll be fine. But like they're in America and they're working here, living here. They're like chill, whatever. But they're like, yeah, where I'm from, they like fucked the country.
Yeah.
Like a CIA guy murdered a thing, and then
They're not like little sleeper cells.
Oh,
like,
basically like
they
you
become Americans.
like Persians. Persians are here. They're cool, but they're like, yeah, the leader of your government murdered our democratically elected guy.
Yeah.
And it fucked up our country.
It's just history.
And but now we're here and whatever.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, you fucks.
We're Canadians.
We didn't have to come here, but
it's
whatever.
like, don't ever tell us that we're not Canadians, because it's like, well, you fucked up our other home, so we're
here now.
With you now.
Yeah. We're here.
I used to have this bit. People really did like it, but A, it's a little too long. It never like cut the fat on it, and B, it like confused people. But I was basically trying to say, I was like, America, okay, Canada and America are two houses side by side.
Yeah.
And the Canadian house, we're like, oh, you want to live here? I got a room you can rent. Come rent my room. You're from wherever, you can rent the room, whatever. America is like, American house is like, oh, you want to rent the room? Yeah, anyone can rent the room, but I'll just kill my black tenants. And whatever. And he's like, he does that, and people get a little confused. And then I'm like, and then once in a while, the American guy, from his house, he just goes over to the poor area, the Mexican area, the Middle East area, and he just like bombs them and fucks them up. And then he comes back to his house, and when they're like, hey, can we have a room in your place? He's like, no, fuck, get the fuck out of here. What do you want? He just like, because I'm like, basically I'm like, what do we, it's like, I try to make this funny somehow, right? And it scares people, but I'm like, at a certain point, like, I don't know if it's like the UN or some other group or whatever. It's like eventually it's like we're two houses on right side by side, and this is going on. This one, he's killing his.
Yeah, and then Canada's like, oh, what a weird.
Yeah, it's like at a certain point the police or someone's gonna go, hey, so we just like wrapped this up. It was a long investigation, and you know what I mean. We your neighbor was like doing all sorts of crazy shit. It was arson and all this. It's like, so, did you, like, know about this? Like, did you, like, hear
You're
anything?
complicit.
Yeah, it's like, literally, it's like, in the joke, I'm like, oh, did you not hear the screaming?
Yeah, how come you didn't say anything?
What are we going to say? We're going to say, oh, well, we were just busy trying to smoke weed with our healthcare, we got some native tenants that we killed sometimes, but other than, we don't know, like, at what point are we just, like, the dumb neighbor, and at what point are we, like, yeah, complicit. You already said it, yeah.
Buddy, at some point, we're coming home, like, late at night, and the neighbor's, like, digging a hole. He's like, yo, Canada, come here, man.
Yeah.
Yo, help me dig, man. I'm fucked. You gotta help me.
Exactly.
Here, hide some coke. Get the fuck out of here. Like, they bury a body. We do that.
Yeah.
We do that with their spy stuff. We do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They really, like, messed with our spy system recently.
The whole Iran and Argo and stuff.
Yeah, there's that, yeah.
No, but the thing is, and people don't know, so yes, the Canadian ambassador to Iran helped the American spies and stuff, just like in Argo. But what they don't say in Argo, and this is real too, is the Canadian ambassador in Tehran himself, Canadian ambassador to Tehran, always was CIA. He was already a CIA agent.
Wow.
So that movie is really like a CIA agent helping like the other CIA agent.
Yeah.
Do this thing. Like the Canadian ambassador was CIA.
Wow. The Canadian. So they give him money, or they're like, "Hey, you work for us."
Yeah, I mean both. Yeah.
Wow. They must set him up somehow.
They set you up. Come on, they have a deal with Canada. It's like Canada's what, that dumb? Like even if they were, whatever. But even if we didn't know,
Canada's basically like, look, we have a program where you can hire 25 spies right now. Anyone. We have a permit for 25 spies in the Canadian government, and you only get 25, and you got to pay them good. They have a union. It's like, it's almost like a deal. It's like a handshake.
But yeah, you're right about we help them help bury dead bodies once in a while. It's like, we always pride ourselves on how much better we are than them, but just because we're not out there murdering the people, like, we still, just the fact that we all kind of know about it, and we just kind of like, yeah, it's America, it's not us, oh, they're crazy over there, let's smoke some more weed. Oh, neighbor, you want to smoke some weed with us?
Yeah, you're supposed to smoke weed and get lazy. You smoke weed and you become a radical. Now you want to fix everything. You're like, man, it starts getting to so many that I'm
just saying, just because we don't do it, and we're not on all
no, you're right, man. What you're saying is right.
Part of it.
But it just feels like most people kind of ignore all this because they're like, well, what am I going to do? I'm not going to do anything about it.
Well, it starts by knowing about it, and then
I'll just pretend that people in China don't have slaves. Like, we don't have slaves in China. I'm just going to pretend.
Yeah.
Like, at what point? It's uncomfortable almost. It's, like, too sad a little bit.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, what if we can't pay for our life? Like, what am I going to do with my kid?
Dude, if everything was fair and balanced and, like...
I know. We need slaves to live.
Yeah, if they were being paid properly, a bar of chocolate would cost like $10.
$10. A burger would be like 40.
And the worst part is, eventually they'll make it so that a bar of chocolate is $10, but it still won't be fair and balanced. Like, they'll still be getting the same amount to make
will get more profit.
Yeah, the company here will just make more.
There'll be a report that's like, they actually make less money.
Yeah, they somehow make less.
And they like, a new report comes out, some lefty.
Well, all that extra money helped them increase their infrastructure in a way, and it's like it shaved a few pennies off down the line.
Yeah. But then some guys still wanted to squeeze them, so they even lost. Like, it's so sad. People just want to make money.
You know, it's a really crazy, like a parallel to that whole like history repeats itself, but not in the Western political sphere. And this is like religion and stuff too. My mom was telling me, I don't know, I didn't get the full details because of the translation, but basically like, okay, so like the Iranian form of like Islam, it's like Shia, and the way that came about is like when and we're like atheists, but she knows this stuff, and she was explaining what happened recently, which is so fucked. So when like Muhammad or whatever died, like the like one side that became Shia was like, oh, his grandkid or whatever like should be the next one, and then the other side, like the Arabic side, were like, no, this guy that we want to put in should be it, right? Already putting my like Persian bias. Anyways, so they didn't get along, and then the like Arab side, the Sunni side, they just came and they killed the other dude, like Muhammad's like grandson. They killed him.
Right.
And so that dude in Shia Islam is like a martyr. It's like he's Muhammad's grandson, but also he was slaughtered. He was killed in this like massacre,
right.
Whatever. So, and that's kind of like the underlying like sort of Arab Persian like beef, sort of.
Yeah.
Or not Arab Persian specifically, but the extreme religious on both sides.
Right.
That's when they're like, those fuckers. Like they still like
kill Muhammad's kid.
And every year there's a holiday called Ashura where they basically like they like take these like sort of mace looking things and they go like and they like
they whip
like,
themselves.
we try to feel the pain of that he felt when he was getting killed.
Yeah, Catholics have that too.
That great betrayal, right? Like the betrayal and they put depictions of that guy who was like a bow and arrow guy who like killed Muhammad's grandson. They put depictions on him, but they Photoshop his face with like whatever like American guy.
Yeah.
So during Obama, they had like Obama as like that character who like killed Ali or whatever.
But how silly to be like, I'm punishing myself. I'm in pain like you, my God. I'm in pain.
Know,
like it's such a kiss-ass thing to do.
It's such a sniveling.
Very dramatic.
Yeah, it's true. And I don't want to knock on anyone, whether it's Christian.
No, I don't want to insult
guys,
like
religion, you do your thing
but
and
do
whatever.
Your thing, you know.
But
whip yourself.
So like there was like a terrorist attack or something like during that holiday that commemorates all that. Just recently, there was a terrorist attack in Iran, and my mom was kind of saying like how like that's like the history repeating itself. Like the same old battle
Yeah.
is like repeating itself all the time.
Oh my God.
And I'm going to say something now. I hope to God this one's not true. I don't even believe in God really, like in that sense, but hope this is not true. But if it is, then people should know about it, and this is pretty juicy. My mom was telling me, and it was on the news apparently. My mom, she's like, you didn't see the news?
Oh my God, it's fresh from Iran.
She said it,
From Iran?
No, I mean Toronto. Yeah, my mom's in town. But this happened in Toronto. It was on the news and everything. And my mom said apparently, we gotta look this up. But so it was like that Ashura thing, that holiday, and in Toronto at this fucking place with like great 24-hour Persian food that I actually took Nick once. Nick and his friend. We went at 4 a.m. after a show on 420. A fucking right outside of that, they were like doing this like protest in like the Iranian community, and some like
At 4 a.m.?
No. It's a 24-hour place, but they were doing it during the day.
Right.
And some fucking people from like the other side of like Muslim or whatever, they're like some people just came and started arguing with them, and a dude died. Like one of them.
Today?
This is like a few days ago, I guess.
Oh
like
my God.
this is so savage if it's true. But one of the Iranian guys apparently like he had like the like ceremonial knife
Oh my
like
God.
for the thing, and he fucking cut like
He cut her throat.
He didn't cut his head off, but he
killed
this
himself?
is like rumor until we look it up. But I'm
He
like,
killed himself or her?
Killed like someone he was arguing with.
Yeah, he was like, how dare you talk about our side of the war
He
like
had the
this?
sword in his hand, so he's
And
just
he
like,
just slit her throat.
I'm pretty
In
sure
Toronto.
In Toronto.
This is so
My mom
terrifying.
told me about it. I was like,
This is a breakdown of
no, are you
civilization.
sure? I was like,
This is a
holy
breakdown of
fuck.
civilization.
And that's so shameful that it's like Iranian, but it's like,
I
yeah,
know.
dude, no one's above it. We're all the Hitlers.
Oh, he's
and stuff.
Iranian.
Yeah.
Wow. That seems like too...
Yeah, and they don't cut heads over there, but I guess the guy just like had it in his hand. I don't know.
That seems like...
Maybe he tried to hit him. I don't know.
That seems
I
like
don't
more
know
like
if this is
Pakistan.
true.
I don't want to put everyone on hierarchy
No,
here.
I mean like
that sounds more like
everyone
Pakistan.
has savages, you know, like fuck.
Everyone has, but they're here too. It's terrifying that they're here.
Yeah, it's terrible.
That is so scary.
It really is. I think it's like.
What do we do about that? What do we do?
That's so
like,
scary.
like you don't want to turn into a racist and be like, well, no more immigrants.
No, dude, I'm being like racist about it. I'm like, yeah, it's like, I'm like, who's the savage?
No, but what would you? You're not saying shut down the immigration,
No.
right? Like it's
I'm
like we got to
not.
figure out what to do about that.
I mean, he didn't do it to like a white guy. He did it to like one of his own. He
Doesn't
did it-
matter, man. It's terrifying. Come on.
Oh, of course.
Just
of
don't
course.
do that here.
Of course, don't.
I'm sorry.
Please
Don't do that
it.
there either. But come on, you're bringing it here. It's
like
terrifying.
It's like people do like honor killers and stuff
I know,
to their
I
moms
know.
and stuff here.
But you know what's actually a funny thing about this? I was trying to do this joke about peak like joke with Catholic priests, like with Catholic priests, right? And I think this is happening with Trump, where Catholic priests, people made fun of them so much that it became hack, and it became like, okay, I get it, like stop making fun of them. But the problem never ended. It just became hack to do the joke. So people kind of stopped talking about it. The same thing's happening to Trump, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, it's kind of like these Catholic people. If someone disses them online, disses their thing, they'll leave a comment like, "Oh, you don't think the Muslims are doing it?" It's like, yeah, the Muslims do it, but you guys are top of the game, dude. You're gonna get haters. You know, if you're at the top of your game, like people are gonna be mad at you the most, man. Are you kidding me? You have a machine for doing it. It's like a machine. You have like a 200-year history. There's just always a new case of like another 3,000. Have you seen the movie Spotlight?
No, I don't think
So Spotlight is about them breaking the story in Boston. It's like a true story, like reenactment. It's them
kids getting raped and shit.
Yeah, the kids getting raped by Catholic priests.
Wow.
It's them breaking the story at the Boston Globe or something like that. It's such a big story that this New York Jew has to come in to help them. It's like, this is a very big story. I'm coming to help. And Liev Schreiber comes and talks to them and guides them
I
through
did
it.
see this.
It's incredible. And the entire movie, the movie is basically like, oh, I heard there's a child molester. Child molester? No, there's 6. There's 20. There's 50. There's half of Boston. Half of it, Massachusetts. Like, it just keeps going. It just keeps on. Oh, there's more. There's more. There's more. It doesn't end, man.
They're raping everybody out here.
It's like that South Park episode where they go to the top of the whole church, and then the guy's like, "Oh, maybe we should just stop rape." Like they're like, "We got a big baby raping problem," and the guy goes, "Oh, we need a better PR team." And the other guy's like,
there's an alien version of because all the
Yeah.
Catholic bishops, and he's like, "What about the Galgamex?" And he's like, "Why don't you just fuck your own women?" He's like, "The Galgamex vagina is 3 feet wide with razor sharp teeth. How can we fuck that?" And it's like, "How about we just focus on human problems right now?"
"Oh my god, that's such a
It's like the Galgamex.
That's such a funny dark
the
joke.
Catholics of the Galgamex. Like, because it's like the
their vaginas have like knives in them. What the hell? That's such a South Park joke.
So they just fuck boys.
Oh my god, come on! There's so much of that, and they're traumatized. Mm-hmm. Every documentary I see, they're just so sad. These people, they're broken, man. They're like, my parents sent me to this guy, and they're so sad about it, dude. But when I was a kid, there was an Indian child molester, and my mom, I swear to God, this guy's a child molester. I think that if someone becomes a celibate, celibacy is not because like I can get so many women, but I'm going to say no to them all. Celibacy is either I can't get any women, but probably just I don't even want women. I'm into kids, so I'll just go to the place where I can go do kids. Like I'll be in front of kids. You know what I'm saying? Like celibate organizations attract child molesters, I think.
Yeah.
So in India, there's one guy like this. My mom found this book when I was like 15, and it's a guy who's like, I don't ejaculate ever. He's like celibate. Like, he's like, I don't ever ejaculate. So my sperm kids, right? Is like super. So he's like, my sperm makes me Superman. It goes in and it makes my biceps big. And he's like this. It's like a Superman cover. It's like a Superman little book, and there's like little kids hanging off his arms. Oh. He made like a little Indian dude. India is like Silicon Valley for cults. They're so accepting of religion that there's cults popping up all the time. Every other day. And you can, in open source religion, Hinduism, it's like very open source. So you can just pull a guy and be like, oh, I'm the reincarnation of that guy. Start your own little thing.
Yeah, you can just be a temple for Krishna or something.
Yeah, you can just make up your own. Oh, we're the Krishna followers who saw him at the mountain. That's it. And we focus on hard work or something. I don't even know. Wow. They have their own statue. They're like, we believe this. We do this once a week. Keeps us going. It's very interesting, man.
So you can just set up shop in that. It's open source religion. I like that.
Hinduism is.
Catholic, like Protestantism is. Catholic isn't.
Yo, you want to lie down? That's okay.
That's why they.
Yo, move that.
It's because Protestantism, you can literally.
Oh, watch it. Yeah.
Just set up.
This is so gay.
You just be a. What?
This is so gay.
Well, then fucking don't do it then.
I want to do it. So
gay is bad, don't you know?
No, I love it, dude. Remember that idiot who at the show yesterday who's like, I'm not gay. What the hell? What a lame diss right now.
If anyone's listening, we're at this fucking show.
Yeah.
And it's like no one's listening. It's just us, and we're just like, so anyway.
So we're just talking shit about like some
we're just talking. No, but we're at this fucking show. Great show, run by Tanya, and Amish is on stage, and he's talking about like, oh, you know, like who's into anal, whatever. Is anyone into anal? And then this guy's like, oh yeah, butt stuff, whatever. But.
I didn't say is anyone into anal thing. Oh my god, you're making me sound like an idiot. You're making me sound like a crazy comic. You know, Misha's typical Amish on stage. Anal this, anal that.
That's how I would say it. I have a bit where I was like, oh, I'm not, but I was anyway. But anyways,
that's your bit. Wait a minute.
No, but you talking.
You just pinned your bit on it.
You talk about anal at some point, and the guy's like, oh, anal, butt stuff.
It's mentioned in the bit.
Yeah.
And then the guy goes, anal, I don't like that. Like
no, he's like, but I only like women butts. And you're like, yeah, okay.
I know.
Why did he have to say that? Oh, I only like women butts? Like,
come on.
Who gives a fuck? It's Toronto. But B, you saying that is so gay of you. Like,
what is wrong with this guy? This guy's like got tattoos on his face.
There's nothing wrong with that, but him saying he only likes girl butts, I'm like, this dude loves man
he's like a downtown rockabilly hipster. Why is he homophobic-ish underneath a little bit? I don't know.
A lot of those people are.
Why is he homophobic? Like, he has tattoos on his face. Like, he's like but he's not in a band or an artist. He just has tattoos. He's like one of those kind of guys. You think
that doesn't mean they're like left? Oh, if anything, that's like that could be the criminal.
You think that's he's not white supremacist. He was just like a guy.
No, I didn't say that.
He was just like a downtown guy. So I was surprised that he would be like, well, I'm not gay. Ew, like you're downtown. Like we're in Toronto, you weirdo. Right? Yeah, what a weird thing to say.
That girl said hi to you, and he was like, "Why are you trying to step on my girl?"
Oh my god, this girl. So idiot. This is what a loser move. Oh my god, it's too much, man. If you're past like, you can't do this. So it's called calling dibs on a human. It's when you're talking to a girl. Dude, this girl like forced her number on me within 2 minutes. It was like fishy. It was like she was too cute to do that. I think it was like a sales thing, honestly. I don't even know. But anyway, so she pushes her number on me, and then she goes to the washroom, and her friend goes, "Hey man, I've been working on that for like 4 years, bro. I've been working on that for like 4 years, dude. Can you just come on, man? Like you're on you're a comedian, you on TV, and you got to come and steal my girl. Come on, man. Come on, what are you doing? Like
4 years? He said that.
He said that.
What a fuck! Oh, it was his birthday too, eh?
Was it his birthday or some other guy's?
It was his birthday. What a loser.
Dude.
His friends didn't even want to be with him. They were just like, oh yeah, it's our birthday. He brought us his fucking open mic.
How sad.
Ugh. Kill yourself.
He really used the guilt to be like, come on, man. Let me have it. Let me have it, please.
And meanwhile, the girl keeps coming to us and like talking to us.
I know, but eventually we just dropped it. I was like, if she can't
like,
get away from
dress
that,
you in your podcast. Like,
I know.
I was like, yeah, we could do a wardrobe provided by. If you have some nice stuff we can wear. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, let's do a wardrobe provided by. She's cool, man. I think she can be our friend.
Yeah.
She's very cool. Like, I wasn't even being like that.
I know.
This guy is so weird. He's just like, come on, man, please, give me a chance. And he, but he's not even like some nerd in a suit with a job.
Fellas,
he's just some
can you
goofy
leave
guy.
some of that pussy for the rest of us?
Come on, pal.
Yeah, I was like, what are you talking about?
Leave some for the rest of us. I've been working on it. But it's like calling dibs on a human being.
Called us funny and said hi. Like, we're not going to say hi back.
I know.
You got to be like, oh no, clearly you're in proximity of another adult male, and therefore
say the young lady
you must be his property.
I'm a gentleman, and I won't talk to a lady who's been taken. You have been taken, and I'm a gentleman, and I won't do that to him. Like,
you are this gentleman's chattel, and if I want you, I will make a
well, you took it to chattel.
I will make an offer in his direction. I will give him a fair price.
I'm sure this gentleman has had your father's permission.
I will buy you for 3 chickens and.
What am I supposed to do?
We'll make a gentleman's wager of it. Yeah, the guy was so threatened. It was so funny.
What a loser.
Yeah, he's
dude, he has tattoos on his face.
I like girls' butts, bro. Why are you heckling, you idiot? And then why are you specifying? Oh, who gives a fuck? I like butts right now. Like, whatever.
Oh my god, what a loser. But that is so sad that he's just like, 4 years I've been trying, man. He really used a guilt excuse to make me like...
He's not gonna get laid. She doesn't want to fight
And what kind of friend are you? Like, he's been friends with her for 4 years. What kind of friend are you? What if this girl found the love of her life and you got this little weasel coming around and be like, no, she's no good. I love her. Imagine at the last second she's like, she has gonorrhea. Get out of here.
The funniest part is she's probably a friend of the show, and like she'll be a friend of the show and whatever. So
she's cool.
I'm not saying anything, but like she also wasn't just like. I mean, she's a beautiful lady. And who am I to say anything? But she definitely, I'm sorry, wasn't like a supermodel or something. You know what I mean?
We have difference of opinion. I thought she's pretty hot.
Yeah, no, she's pretty hot.
I thought she's pretty hot.
And I'm just saying, like, this guy for 4 years. You're like dreaming
Vandad.
And dreaming.
Yeah, no, Vandad, but
make a move.
I wouldn't put 4 years
into.
I wouldn't put 4 years into anyone.
I'd make a move
at
in the
this
first
age,
month.
I wouldn't put 4 years into anyone.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like it could be a 10.
That's what I'm saying.
It
like,
could be
okay,
like,
let's say she's a 10. It's like, yo,
it could be
4
Rachel
years.
McAdams. Rachel McAdams would be like, just court me for 4 years and I'll be yours.
No one else caught your eye in 4 years.
I'm not doing it.
Like,
I'm not
dude.
doing it. 4 years? Like, yeah, if Rachel McAdams said, court me for 4 years and I'll be yours, but until then, nothing, I'd be like, nah, I'm good, baby.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Let's be friends. We'll come hang out, come have a conversation. We can be friends. I don't want you to do that. What is this? Like, what kind of weird relationship is that? Like, I'm going to pretend for 4 years.
Good luck, birthday boy.
4 years.
It's okay. We're getting. I mean, this is part of it. They're seeing the real world. They're seeing the real us. But,
I know it's hard to organize it with.
On the videos, we talk a lot about colonialism. We talk about a lot of politics. I mean, I feel like it's like when we started this, a lot of it started coming as a surprise to you.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the injustices and stuff, and a lot of the like schemings of the system. You know. Now I feel like we're 2 weeks in. Like I feel like you've kind of like realized more.
Oh yeah, there is a radicalization here.
Yeah.
There is a bit of a not a radicalization, but like.
And it's good that
there
you check me too. Like
I'm
you don't let me go too crazy. It's like I'm like, oh yeah, well I gotta think about that. I don't really know the answer to that. You know.
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, I am surprised though that there are legitimate radical views like this. Like there's people who have looked into like, okay, if we did go communism, it's actually not that bad. It's this and that. It's like fuck.
Yeah, it's like I'm not really
that's terrifying.
That
man.
crazy
the amount of right wing propaganda
myself.
that I've seen, I'm like that scares me.
Oh, I mean, they definitely lie about death toll. They make that video, that PragerU University one, they made Nazis look the exact same as Soviets. It's like they made it seem like the whole point of World War II was to fight these massive, too big problems, which isn't true because no matter what you think about communism,
they weren't going to do anything.
Up until after World War II was over, the U.S., Britain, and the Soviet Union were allies.
Yeah.
Allies.
Yeah.
They
but the military people made a boogeyman called the Soviet Union, and they said we have to fight these people forever.
Yeah, he changed history and made it seem like World War II was literally like the fight against Soviets.
Right.
The only people who were fighting the Soviets in World War II were the Nazis.
The Soviets became an American enemy more right after. That's when the Cold War started. That's
more
when
like the Americans became the enemy of the Soviets. But yeah.
So sad. The Soviets probably didn't even care. They were like,
they didn't do anything. They didn't need to be enemies, man.
They didn't need to be enemies, you know.
Even anything they did do was like to their own people, but they were never a threat to the U.S. Every nuke they built was like, well, the Americans have it. And
they got to race.
Kill us.
They got to race. Do it too. They had to. The Americans like goaded them into it.
Yeah.
The Americans like surrounded them with weapons and shit like that. But they were also aggressive. Come on, we're not going to make the Russians be so innocent.
I'm not saying
they were aggressive. They were in Afghanistan, weren't they? Did they not aggress in Afghanistan?
They were in Afghanistan. It wasn't good. No invasion is good.
Like, this is honestly a question I have where it's like, did America instigate all that, or was it equal?
Foreign soldiers have no business in Afghanistan. I don't care what country you are.
No.
Afghanistan, it's like their own thing. They've always been. You can't invade Afghanistan. You can't hold on to Afghanistan. It'll never work.
Yeah.
It'll never work. You literally have to kill each and every one of them, or you need to leave right now and say, sorry, sir. And they're so cool that they will forgive you.
Yo, you know what they'll be like? They're such a warlike people that they'll be like, the game is the game, baby.
You can
the
never
game is the
own
game.
Afghanistan.
You can't.
It just won't work.
You can't. They are such G's, man. They are such fighters. They're warriors.
They'll run up and down the hills in the mountains in their bare feet, all weather.
Yeah.
You're trudging
They're warriors.
They'll jump into your tent at night and kill you.
They're warrior people, and you're right. If America walked away today, America would say, "Sorry, guys." They would say, "The game is the game."
Afghan would be like,
"We murdered so many other people."
Afghan would be like, "We've been through it all before.
We've been through it all, yeah.
As long as you've learned your lesson, don't."
You made them such a wise man. As long as you've learned.
Dude, there's some poetic shit. You ever see that? They show it in Lone Soldier, or whatever that movie was with the Marky Mark, Lone Survivor.
Yeah.
But they talk about it in Ninth Platoon, which is a Russian-Afghan movie.
Right.
But there's this whole thing in Afghanistan where, like, okay, even if you, like, come across, like, the Taliban or whatever, even if you come across, like, your full-out enemy, once you're in, like, if you just stumble in and you're in their village, when you're a guest in their village, you're under their protection. It's like a matter of pride. It's like, literally, I can't read. It's a matter of. Is that the time you're showing me? It's a matter of pride for them. If you're their guest, when you're in the village walls, you're under their protection. The fucking Taliban comes right now. They're like, he's my guest. Like, you're not touching him. Like, you have to fucking kill me. And sometimes they'll die. And they'll get killed, but they'll do it. Will go down for
There's a Prince Faisal like that.
But then the second you leave the confines of that village, that same person who is like, goodbye, brother, like, goodbye, friend, my guest, like, until next time, could be the one pulling the trigger, shooting you right in the back.
It's basically like they have these weird alliances.
It's like infinite hospitality within that thing.
No, but there's a web of alliances too.
My responsibility's done. Like, you could die right now. It doesn't matter.
But they also have like a web of alliances there that's super complicated. Like the way they have to pay alliances and the way like it's impossible to break into that.
They have like warlords and stuff who technically that same family has been like the warlords for fucking 500 years.
It's kind of like how World War II was like, okay, if they go into here, then we get to go into here, and then we get to go into here. They have that on a micro level. They have all these tribes, and they're like, these two have a deal if these guys don't talk to them. Those two are allowed to be friends, but only if they don't sell weapons to these guys. Like, there's like a complicated thing.
The Saudis, the House of Saud, has this, like, now coming up on about 100-year alliance with the people who founded Wahhabi, like the Wahhabi sect of Islam.
Yeah.
And they have a deal, so it was like, we legitimize your rule, your family's rule with the people, like ruling the people, but only as long as your state and your tribe is now a proponent for this type of. So it's built in their DNA that it's like, if the Sauds want to keep all their money and keep rule over Saudi Arabia, they have to keep spreading Wahhabism. And the Wahhabis are like, if you ever break this contract, like, we turn on you. You know what I mean? We tell all the jihadis that they gotta fucking bomb Saudi Arabia. Even if they're from there, they'll do it.
Wow, what a weird alliance. It's almost like a different kind of... It's almost like a sci-fi movie, and there's a different kind of people. They're like, they live here.
It's like Game of Thrones-y,
Yeah, it's an interesting, like, thing. Like, it's like they're as a culture, they developed a way to have control over their government. Mm-hmm. They're like, we have a secret underground thing that keeps you in check. Mm-hmm. The Americans have a voting system. We have a bombing system. It's like, if you fuck with these people too much, if we think that you're going against the morality of our religion, someone's going to die. Someone's going to get killed. We'll try to overthrow you, whatever. So there's like this weird peace between them.
The Afghans won't get conquered. The Khyber Pass, when we talked about Khyber, you'll control the Khyber in our first video, Empire Day, but the Khyber Pass, bro, you'll never, and that's part of it is Afghanistan too, or was Afghanistan.
It's so close, but it's not that rocky terrain that's impossible to conquer.
It's technically Pakistan, it's both, whatever, it's the tribals. You'll never fucking conquer that shit, man. You have to kill them all, or just leave. You can't own them.
It's literally like there's these mountain passes that you can live in, and nobody else knows how to live in. So it's like a skilled trade. There's like a family that knows how to live in this area and fight from this area, and they teach it to their kids, and that's it. And so that's that tribe that's there, and they train like that, they fight like that, they live like that. Then there's another tribe that's somewhere else. They know the technique of that area, so they fight there forever, and then they all have these weird alliances with each other. It's so complicated.
So Golan Heights is technically Syrian territory, but it's been held half by Syria and half by Israel for like 40, maybe 50 years now.
Yeah.
And the reason that Israel will never like give that part of it up, even though it's like not technically theirs, is because my Palestinian friend was telling me this. Like, he just knows. He's not like pro it or against it, but from the Golan Heights, like, Israel's all below it.
Yeah.
So if you have the Golan Heights, you can just destroy it. Like, it's just like there's no way for them to like not be destroyed. Like, if you have it and you just aim down, you just pick everything right off.
I feel like there's a lot of Israeli people that would hear that. They would hear you say that and be like, yeah, we're not letting that go.
Yeah, we
took it and we're not letting it go.
Like, unless it's like super good friend country, it's all.
It's gonna take 100 years to be like, okay.
It's like
it's gonna take 100 years.
It's just because it's like literally, it's like
the wounds are still fresh.
Well, they'll just like, if their enemy has the Golan, their enemy will win.
Yeah,
that's why it's like you can pour all these like billions of dollars of U.S. money. It won't matter if the Golan's taken. If a certain few things like
some things can't be won with all the money in the world.
Yeah, at the end of the day, there are only X million people. The whole area is like untold. Each country is like so many big ass countries around there. Like,
yeah, and these people are used to being oppressed. And like they have a fight back system that's ingrained.
But the way to survive shouldn't be because they just like have enough guns to like hold out for now. It's like, no, it should be because they're like friends and they were friends and they can be friends again. It's all fucking U.S. British like made up divide and conquer bullshit that's keeping them like all tense, you know, and all ready to fucking die and kill each other. What were you trying to show me before? Sorry.
What? What was I trying to show you?
Show me your phone.
Oh, I don't know. A while ago I was going to show you Evolution Baby because it sounds like you, but...
Oh, it's just like right now, but what time is it?
It's getting late. I think we can wrap it up.
3:16. How long have we been recording? Does it show?
Oh, hour and 40 on this one and maybe like 40 minutes before that.
I think that's the first episode.
You think so? You want to edit it?
Huh?
Oh, wait. Are we talking into this or...
I mean...
Yeah, whatever.
Anything else? Hey, this is White Man's Burden. This is, I mean, we're gonna, whatever we call it.
It's a podcast about colonialism.
But this is...
Today we had an incredible meeting with Jason Rand. It was very exciting.
Jason Rand.
Like all the artwork he wants to do. Oh my god.
This guy is a genius.
This Patreon, it's like a business.
He's 30 years into it, and he's teaching us about Patreon. We're gonna get on Patreon. We are on Patreon.
We are
really,
actually
like milk it out. You know what I mean? Because we need stuff.
It's so much work.
This is just the start. This is kind of like a fresh end thing. We have 2 videos up. Check them out. Real May 2-4.
Yeah.
That's the first one.
And then the second one's like a casual conversation, but it's beautifully shot. It's in front of the Queen Victoria. I dropped in some documentary footage, but it's in front of that Queen Victoria statue. It's so nice.
We're gonna get deep, so we gotta unpack. I mean, we researched for weeks. I mean, we were telling this. We were dreaming. We were having nightmares about dead Indians. Like, it got so depressing.
It's so depressing.
You know what I mean? We're gonna. This podcast is gonna be like.
It's like soul searching. It's like existential too. It's like sad, and it's also just like.
Freeball it. Like, we're gonna hit these issues that have to be hit. You can't just avoid them. You know what I mean? We're two comedians, and like, yeah, we're gonna make some jokes because the levity, you can cut the tension with a knife. We need a little comic relief.
Yeah.
We're gonna crack some jokes, but we're not here to fucking just like rip on dead people, 50 million dead here, fucking opium wars. We're not here to just like, ha 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 ha. No, we're here to talk some real shit and try to find some, you know, I'm talking
like there are some jokes,
here,
but it's not like we would know it's. We have class. We're on the side of the oppressed, you say.
Exactly.
We're trying to fight the man, you say.
We're not gonna say that.
I don't know why I said that with British accent.
No, it's great. You have a British on now. You're very good. Not everything we say is gonna be fucking necessarily 100%. You tell us. You call us. We want to talk to you about it. Reach across the board. I have a lot of speculation. I have a lot of passion in my heart. You know what I mean? But ultimately, there's a lot of fucked up shit that we're gonna get into it next time. The borders, most of the borders are fake, and they're designed for war.
And they're designed to make these people fight forever. It's so depressing.
Like, it's fucked.
It's too
people
much.
Have to know, or it's just gonna keep continuing.
Yeah. And we're doing it. We're getting into it again right
new.
now. So now we need to have this love revolution. We need to have a 70s type of movement, and Vandad has the afro for it. If you saw this guy's afro, oh my god.
The revolution's coming.
This guy could start a 70s movie revolution. He's like, come on, man, you know what the government's doing? And we could go, baby.
All this
but just
needs
in a
help
podcast.
From viewers like you, okay? Listen to us, share us, actually subscribe to us, pass it on, tell people.
No, we're going to put on the most amazing parties. Like, it's not going to be like...
have sweet events.
It's not going to be like, give me your money. It's going to be like, oh, you guys are tight.
Support us.
So tight.
The main way is to listen to us. We're not trying to fucking milk you. If you can't afford it, just listen to us. 90% of what we're doing is free. We're going to have some sweet optional events. If you can support us, we're going to make it up to you. We're going to give you cool bonus footage. We're going to give you cool bonus stuff.
Yeah, there is like all this stuff that we have to go through still.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you're going to get a lot out of it when you do help us, and you'll see our results, and you're part of it. We'll put your name up too. We'll call you up.
This is a community. This is a community. This is a culture.
At the end of the day, if you can't do that, don't stress it. Don't think that you're not part of this. You're part of it.
You're part of it, yeah.
Especially you're part of it.
Yeah,
okay?
it's for the downtrodden.
Please listen to it. Please enjoy it. Think about it. Think critically. Maybe get a little bit out of your comfort zone a little bit. Hopefully we can inspire you and put you back in your comfort so you're not as afraid sometimes. But at the end of the day, keep listening. Keep sharing it. Keep spreading it. We're going to build up some good karma. We're going to really try to see what we can do. You're never alone. We're all in this together. And I'm talking about everyone. I don't care what color, the whites too. Everyone, especially if you have money. But everyone.
Yeah.
You know, I love the Jews. You know, I love everyone.
No, we're going to get together. We're going to party. It's going to be great.
Even the Saudis, come.
Come on.
Oh my God, brother.
We'll hang out. We'll party.
Come. So help us. Be with us.
Yeah.
Be good to yourselves. Love you. It's White Man's Burden. I'm Vandad. I know I talk too much. This is Amish Patel.
This is Amish Patel. That's cool, man. This is great.
V-Daddy show is October 8th. If you want to just see me do some stand-up comedy, I got Rebecca Reeds. Every single Friday, Amish Patel at 120 Diner.
Damn.
But also just like watch Dano Dana on TV because he's on that too.
Oh my God. You're so good at this,
Whatever.
Man. You're so good at this.
Be with us. Come to our shows. Toronto has very vibrant comedy. Everywhere, every night of the week, you can find us.
Man, you can spit, baby.
Doesn't have to be just me talking about crazy fucking Skype code line stuff. It can be funny. I got hilarious jokes too. This guy's hilarious. But this stuff,
like you know, your
we're gonna keep talking about.
You're insane. You're
this podcast, these videos, these are gonna continue on this level.
It's amazing.
Please help us do it. Please enjoy it. And I already said be good to yourselves, but let me just emphasize one more time. Good night. Be good to yourselves. White Man's Burden. Mish, you got anything?
White Man's Burden. We love you, baby. Okay.